Shortbox Nation, what's up? This is episode 202, titled Booty Loops. I'm going to try to say it right. I am your host, Badr Milligan. I am joined today, happily joined, finally. You know, this house is filled with so much love, and our family is back. I'm joined today by Edmund Danzart.
Hello.
And Ashley is with us today.
Hey.
And once again, Cesar's sort of here with us. You'll find out at the end of the episode in our Where's Cesar segment. We decided we're going to keep these intros short. We are at a level now that we don't got to explain ourselves to you. Well, if you're joining us for the first time, thank you so much. Ashley, what do we have this episode for our listeners?
All right, so the 2018 prophecy has been fulfilled, and Badr has watched Game of Thrones.
Whoa!
So we talk about that.
New season, baby. Old. New season, old shit.
Yeah. We catch up on what we've been doing. We kind of talk about some comic book related news that's come out and trailers recently. And guys, hold on to your prison wallets because we talk about Deadpool 2, and it's only slightly spoilery.
Spoiler.
Just slightly, yeah. So if you haven't seen the movie, I probably would still play it safe.
Yeah. And then we have 1.5 emails and champion season.
Oh,
Ashley,
1.5.
if there is a category for punniest co-host or podcast host, you'd win it. You're usually really good. Look at my like scripts for intros. They're like word by word, no fun.
My goodness.
Yours are always terrific. I do want to say, if this is your first time tuning in, to make sure you hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast app. Hit the follow button on your favorite social media account. You can find us just by searching the Shortbox Jacks or going to our website, shortboxjacks.com, and clicking any of the links that we have there. Spread the word of this podcast to your favorite fanboys and girls in your lives. We've had the opportunity to grow, and do all the great things we've done this far because of fans like you telling other people about it. So continue to do that. Thank you guys so much for your support. Like I said, we'll be back on a regular recording schedule, and we've got guests and things lined up and in the works. And if you got ideas or things that you guys want to hear, or comments, champions, etc., you can always write us, and we'll read those emails, even the 0.5 emails, if you write us at theshortboxjacks.com. So I won't talk anymore. We'll go ahead and jump into this episode. Like I said, episode 202, Booty Loops.
Indeed, a great pleasure to present to you at this particular time the hardest working man in show business. Man, this thing ought to go crazy.
Let's go. Not your Suicide Squad, that's some comic book guys. Back again, another round, safe to say we take the prize. Not a stranger to this thing, or 11, just normal guys. Smooth pop culture, comic game vultures. The L we baby, not just outright golden. You already know how we do for those who know us. iTunes, the Shortbox, come on and join us. It's not a secret to the world that we taking over. So with this war, Dr. Doom, and yeah, the wait is over. So fangirls and fanboys, welcome to season 4. We got exactly what you need, make yourself at home. Season champions ready to give you so much more. Ladies and gents, let's begin. This is season 4. Yeah, the Shortbox. Ha. Let's go, let's go. Elevated music. No. Season 4. Let's go.
Ashley, would you like something to drink?
I brought beer.
Oh, word. Did you bring enough for the class? Oh, you did. Wait a minute. Is this the old, I had some leftover beers in the fridge, and I'm just going to bring them to that outing that I got invited to? Nah, I'm not blaming you. I do it all the time. People are like, yo, how do you have Coors Light, a bottle of used cold brew, coffee, a Mountain Dew, and this looks like a spit cup? Can I try one of these yellow ones? First of all, what are they? Damn, Jayville?
Jayville Lager.
Who made this?
Jacksonville loves beer.
Powered by Engine 15. Yeah, they do. God damn.
25 breweries.
I was thinking about opening my...
Like on my head, though.
Huh?
Can you, this is just going to be, on my mind. I know I probably just walked in at the wrong time.
No, I'm fucking with you. Yeah.
It's just joking.
Won't be the best one.
There's a joke. I heard you the door open, so.
I made a stupid joke. I was like, I think from going for... I made a joke about...
She's got that look in her eye, Badr.
She's got this soul pog look in her eye.
No, I'm just curious. I'm not mad. I just want to know.
No, we're just joking.
The joke was, I said, I think going forward, it'll be without Ashley. But it was only because I heard you walk in, and then you didn't hear it. So now we're in this weird predicament right here. Can I get the bottle opener?
Oh, yeah.
What were you going to say that you said it was on your mind? Oh, was that it?
Yeah, I was like, am I getting kicked off?
No.
Are you discussing it before I show up? Is it because I'm always late?
No, I promise.
That Stockton exit's messing me up.
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna text you. Stockton exit is closed, and it's been closed for so long. Like, trust me, I've been burned so many times. Just take the Riverside Avenue exit. I don't know what they're building. It's kind of weird. You guys got all this
Jack Tunnel's never-ending construction.
They're probably building a new brewery off like
Another
the Stockton exit. All
All right, there's 2 more because I figured I'd only drink 1, so I brought 2 for everybody else.
Yo, this is actually like really solid.
This one.
The Coors Light? Okay.
Yeah, reminds me
decided-
of high school.
I decided from now on, I'm just going to.
That's my first drunk beer.
I was listening to a podcast where it's like a music production podcast, and they were talking about all these programs, but because they're so adamant about getting sponsors and not mentioning these programs and these companies that aren't paying them, like, for example, Fruity Loops, they were like, yes, I was using Booty Loops the other day.
What a clever cover-up. We'll never figure crack that code.
You might as well at that point. Like, I mean, they got me at first. I was like, what? Booty Loops. And then I went to a wormhole in the internet that I shouldn't have gone.
Barvel's really fucking up lately. I don't want to mention any names.
Booty Loops. I think we might have found our episode title. All right, we're good. We're good. Came back fresh with solid content.
Oh. Booty Loops. Oh, who's
shit,
that?
That's my mom.
Oh.
Hello?
Oh.
Hello, brother?
Hey, Mom, can I call you? Let me call you later, please.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Man.
Are you going to leave that in there?
Yeah, totally leave that in there. Mom's on the show.
Finally, like, she gets a cameo. She's been bugging me about, like, getting a cameo on it.
Oh, there you go. That's
Her
can't bug
cameo.
you anymore.
Was me curving her. What if I would have let it ring? Like, shh. Let it ring. We'll keep it in.
Less than a week after Mother's Day.
I will admit, it was really nice to see Ed and you actually walk through my door. It's been really quiet, and I've had to, like, record the intros for this, like the bonus episodes and the 2 we put out, and I was like shedding tears. I was like, I miss my friends. Actually, just me being lazy. I was like, fuck, I wish Ashley was here so I could just toss the intro to her. I know the one topic you guys want to talk about, like the one thing that I don't think you guys even looked at the rest of the show notes. You just saw that one and you were like, okay, cool.
Yes.
The royal wedding. Okay, let's talk about the royal wedding. Did anyone watch it? I'm just curious. Only because my news feed in all social media aspects was like 90% about this royal wedding.
I'm not into it. I don't know.
I was just unfollowing people.
We're not still.
Damn, Ashley.
We become a colony, so I've been asleep. I thought we kicked them out.
I won't lie. The
200
only
years ago.
I saw a really good meme that was like the only royal wedding I've ever cared about, and it was like from the Eddie Murphy "This Is America" like royal wedding. I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. As far as comics, I was like, the only wedding I've ever been excited for was when like I used to find like the issue of. I remember finding the issue of Jean and Cyclops' wedding issue in my dad's collection, and I was so baffled. I was like, why does my dad have this issue? And why are they getting married in comics? It was like so nice. It was like a photo. I mean, you guys remember that issue, right? It was like a photo album in the back.
Yeah.
Her dress was fantastic. I'm just saying. Like, so.
Oh, man. Game of Thrones has some pretty great royal weddings.
Oh, jeez.
Ashley, you wasted no time.
Segue.
I'm glad you got married before Game of Thrones, because I was at your wedding. Oh my god!
No, that was good. Actually, someone's been practicing. All right, well, we can. That's actually a good. I think that's a unique thing to come back to. I mean, we've been gone for like a month and a half since I last seen you guys, and I managed to watch season 1 of Game of Thrones. Like, I stayed up until like 1 o'clock last night. I was like, I have to watch this before the show. I said I watched season 1 ahead of time. I got it.
6 more seasons.
Yo,
It's still another year before it comes out, so you can catch up. You have
Yeah.
plenty of time.
I feel like I mean, are you guys proud? I mean, you guys. I feel like there was a bet at one point that said that I would not watch it before this new season. I mean, I still have a lot to catch up to before what
You
season
said that before
8,
last season.
8 or 9.
I think 8's the last one, right?
Yep, that's next
Yeah.
All right, and that one's not coming out till 2019, correct?
Yeah.
So I've been a busy boy. So, but before we can go into Game of Thrones talk in a little bit, I just wanted to catch up with you guys, see what you guys have been up to. I mean, since our last recording, I know that Ed, you've been to a few conventions. Free Comic Book Day happened. I think Ashley, I got like weird sneak pictures of you at the Bitches Library.
Creeper Corey.
And I was like, well, I'm not her keeper, but thank you. Good to know she's there.
Yeah. So
Messing around. Kidding.
Corey was diagonal to me.
Yeah,
and
you were
I kept
setting up. He
looking-
snapped a picture of you.
I haven't even seen that picture. And then I look up and Ryan was there at one point and he was holding his phone out and I was like, "Are you going to take a picture?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm recording right now."
That dude's so weird. He needs to get consent. Someone needs to do something about Ryan's recording and consent. There should be laws.
And he needs to chill on the gym selfies. I don't know.
Dude, can we talk about Ryan Thompson's gym?
Oh
you know,
my
that is a
God.
great... Oh, let me add that
So
to the
many.
show notes. That's on the docket right now. Yo. And you need to switch it up, Ryan. Like, add a shirtless one or something, man. Like, and he's always doing, like, shoulder presses. I'm convinced that's all he does is shoulder presses. He wants to be the Mountain from Game of Thrones. I'm about to have so many Game of Thrones references. Like, this season is Game of Thrones references all day, every day. But, yeah, dude, we might have to bring back... what was that segment of the show? The Weak Sauce Award might go to Ryan's
Oh, yeah.
gym selfies.
Gym selfies.
I mean,
like every post. 9 out of 10 posts.
I'm kind of convinced also that he just goes to the gym to take these selfies and he
He
bounces.
doesn't even work out. He does not work out.
You know what I'm talking about? I think he might not even go to the gym. He might have like a gym prop setup, or that might be like a green screen. You know what? Green screen.
He probably doesn't. Yeah.
So green screen.
He doesn't have a membership. He just sneaks in, takes a
Leaves.
They kick him out.
He's got or he just goes to like so many gyms. He does like the free like week trial. This week it's like Bailey's on the north side. I see you, Ryan. What have you guys been up to? What's the last month been like for you, Ashley? We'll start with you.
I just did Free Comic Book Day and
Nice.
I've just been working.
Okay.
Working.
Are you going to? Oh, first of all, how was Free Comic Book Day? Because I know you were at the Beaches location, which I won't lie, I was surprised that they were still doing it because I know they used to do it with in conjunction with Superhero Beach. I don't think they were in partnership this year, right?
No, Coliseum didn't really do. They didn't even do that many sales.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Yeah, they didn't do the back and forth bus or anything. But it was fun. I had at one point they called over the speaker. It was like, "Hey, we're gonna do sword fighting outside. So everybody go outside and watch the sword fighting." And like 2 minutes later, I had this girl from work text me, and she was like, "Oh my god, they're LARPing outside of the library." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm here."
Yeah, you're like, I'm next, actually.
Lightning bolt.
Um,
Oh man.
I was happy to see that the Beaches still decided to keep going with
that's
it,
cool.
and I mean to reach out to so many of the local artists and whatnot. So,
Yeah, there are a lot of artists there. It was packed. It was really fun.
are you going to Heroes Con this year?
Yes, I'm going to Heroes, and then I'm trying to get a table for Tampa Comic Con, but
Oh man,
I'm definitely going because the Hound is going to be there. Just announced it, so definitely
Really?
doing 2 this year.
get it, Ashley. Are you going as a fan or a vendor?
So I'm doing a vendor at Heroes.
Okay.
I'm trying to do vendor at Tampa, but we'll see. I might just be a fan.
I think I'm 99% sure I'm going to be at Heroes Con for the first time this
It's
year.
the best one.
That's what I've been
by
told.
You
far.
ever been?
No, I've never been.
Oh,
Because
that's a good one.
we like I was telling Ed, we've gotten tickets as far as like press passes for Heroes Con like the last 2 years, but I was giving them to Amber because she loves Heroes Con. But
Yeah.
I want to go this year myself.
Yeah,
so.
it is by far the best convention I've ever been to.
I was looking at the guest list. I'm like, this is like every comic book writer and artist we
Yeah.
ever talk about.
It's the convention you go to if you actually read comics and like want to
Yeah,
meet.
and you're not just into the movies and want to meet the actors.
Yeah. It's if you want to see artists and writers and 4 people vending there it's a good kind of a networking event.
Yeah.
Okay, word. What about you, Ed? What's your month and a half been like?
Oh man, I did Free Comic Book Day at Gods and Monsters in Orlando, and it was really good. It was probably my best one I've ever done.
Hell yeah.
And last weekend I did Savannah Mega Comic Con. They're just trying to cram all the titles into their name. And that was a Saturday, Sunday show. And that was a really, really fun show, too. So it's good. That was like 2 weeks consecutive weekends, so it's been pretty busy.
And are you doing like the Heroes Con or even Mega? Are any of you or either of you going to MegaCon this year?
No, I haven't been in a couple of years.
Yeah, it's gotten
too much for me, man.
Too much. Yeah, it's been too crazy getting in and out of there. And yeah, the next thing I'm doing is I'm doing another God and Monsters thing next month. Is their 3-year anniversary?
Nice.
And then GAM, and I think that's only 2 have penciled in right now.
Ed, what's been like your best bestseller as far as prints go? Because I know that you try to keep it topical, whether it's like the newest like Netflix series or Marvel movie. You normally try to do a new print. I don't know. It seems like once a week or once a month at least.
I don't know. It's hard to say. There's not really one that's everyone I think that's gonna be a decent seller has not been. It just kind of each show is different. It's where each show I go to, it's kind of a different like set of characters. You probably see that, Ashley. It's not like one particular character. It's kind of like depending on the show you're at, it's what sells best. Like at Gods and Monsters, I sold a bunch of my Logan and X-23 prints. And then, Savannah, I didn't sell any of those. So it's like I have like a lot of different things that covers a lot of ground. So, usually something will sell, but it's hard to pinpoint on the one thing that sold. Probably my all-time best-selling print, surprisingly, is a Midna print I've done.
What?
Midna, Twilight Princess, Zelda.
Oh, word. Okay, word.
That's been probably
actually,
my best-selling
I do know
print.
which one you're talking about.
That one, and I did a kind of like a Snow White and like zombie dwarves type of print. Those two have probably been my best selling, like as far as how many times I've had to reorder them. But yeah, it depends on the show.
Okay, don't be surprised if I hit you up for like a Tyrion print. Look, I won't. we can definitely jump into this Game of Thrones talk now. I have had to nickname a lot of these characters because I'm still trying to get the names right, the families right. And when I actually broke the news to Adam first that I was watching Game of Thrones, it was like I was announcing I was having a kid. I was like, "Hey man, I started watching Game of Thrones." Adam gave me a hug and started crying. He's like, "I am so happy for you. Your journey's only beginning and all of these things." And I was like, "Dude, the issue is I just don't know all of these names." So. And I started telling my favorite parts and moments so far in the it's the first season, and I was like, yo, and then there's that bitch boy prince that's like such an asshole. But then you got
talking about?
I wonder if you guys can kind of guess who would that be.
Boy prince would be
Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Yep, good job. I hate that motherfucker.
He has a.
I was raging, fuming.
Oh, he's infuriating
when he kills Ned, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I kind of feel bad for that actor because
he doesn't do anything anymore.
You can't. You just look at him. You just want to punch him in the face.
Oh,
yeah, shit. I still remember that last scene with Ned, and I was like, oh man, how is Arya going to save him? This is going to be cool. How's she going to save her dad? And then he died, and I was like, what? She's
like 5. What's she going to do? She's got a spell?
So, yeah. Other names, I was like, yo, and then there's old young chick. I think that she's really going to become a strong character in the end.
Old young chick.
Daenerys. Only because she's got white hair. I'm like... Yo, old young chick is a badass now. She went a little crazy when her man died. Definitely wouldn't have walked into that fire, but
it's hard to tell what age she is because I've seen pictures of her in different things, and it changes completely.
And this one's a rather easy one. One of my favorite characters has slowly become Bay Snow. I know his name's Jon Snow, and that's really easy, but you're just so damn pretty. I was like, look at Jon Snow. Oh, Bay Snow.
I'm trying to think back to see. It's so hard to separate season 1 because I've seen them all so many times. Have you met Milk Lips yet?
Milk lips.
Wait, is that like a Badrism for Game of Thrones? Or is that his real name? No, I have not met.
You haven't met him yet? Okay.
Not yet.
Do you know him?
And another one of my favorite characters, I've been calling him a mincemeat face. You guys know who that would be?
Mincemeat.
He's a badass. He's
Are
a
you
knight.
talking about the Hound? Because
Well,
that'd be rude.
he should definitely be mincemeat face, but it's actually Braun. Because I'm always like, what's up with this dude's face? He just looks like mincemeat. But I've been learning. I've been getting better, and I'm actually I kind of take back what I said about Jason Momoa. I think a couple episodes ago, matter of fact, when the Justice League episode came out, I said that I was not impressed by Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I wasn't sure how he was going to carry a whole movie by himself, but he was pretty good in he's pretty awesome in Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. But he's not speaking English. Like, he's not speaking English. He's just kind of like really muscular and like brooding. So I don't know if that's really hard, but he gets it. There's another character I really, really like, Cersei, which I had no name. I just kept calling her. The one chick's name I keep forgetting. She is an awesome actress. I like her a lot. But Ned Starks was my boy.
Yeah.
No.
Do you know how mad I was that he died in episode 9? I was like, wow, that was a great season. And no, it's like one more episode. I'm like, how the fuck do you go from here? Like, I'm still emotional. Oh, I'll tell you how you go from here. Fucking dragons. You get CGI baby dragons, which
It's so weird because I never read the books. So, like, all the promo stuff was him because he was like the big actor. He's the most big name actor.
Jason?
Or Sean
Oh,
Bean.
Sean Bean,
Ned.
yeah.
So you see Ned, all the pictures of Ned, and then what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I just watched the Frankenstein series on Netflix, and
Was it good?
I liked it. It's kind of slow, but he totally dies in that too. Spoiler. But he comes back as Frankenstein.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is the name? Okay, all right. The one dude that kind of creeps me the hell out is Lord Varys.
Varys, yeah, with the
That
bald
dude
guy.
creeps me the fuck out. Like, he needs to get some sun. That dude looks pasty and wet all the time. But Ned did have some baller ass. There's some like baller ass quotes in this like show. Like, if if I had to go get a tattoo of quotations in Old English, it'd be one of these Game of Thrones lines. Ned, what did Ned say to Lord Varys? He was like, I'm not gonna fuck it up, but he was like, "You grew up actors. You're good at it. I grew up soldiers." I was like, damn. And then Tyrion still has my favorite line. He said, what he said? He said, he compared himself to a book. He was like, a book. I'm sorry, a mind needs books like a sword needs a wet stone. Tyrion is just the man. That dude is just
awesome.
too cool. So I've been enjoying it a lot. You're right. By episode 2, I was like, yo, can we watch some more? Because the HBO app kind of just does the autoplay.
Yeah.
So it's like hard as hell to like be like, okay, I'm good. I need to go like clean the house and like go visit my mom for Mother's Day. It's like, HBO's got a good point. Let's just keep going
So when are you going to start season 2?
immediately.
Okay.
Like maybe when you guys leave or tomorrow. Like,
Okay.
It's gotten to the point now where I went to work this morning and I was okay with only 3 hours of sleep because I was like, yeah, I can't sleep that good. Ned died. What's the point? What's the point anymore? And I was warned early on, Badr, do not fall in love with any of these
Don't get
characters.
attached to anybody.
Don't get
Yeah.
attached. But Ned? Come on, like Ned?
Yeah.
The King's Hand?
Yeah.
They had him go out like that? There's some listener out there like, yo, this is old as shit, dude.
Embrace the new fan. I was
What
late
is this
to it,
dude
too.
getting emotional about for something?
To be fair, I wasn't even into it till 4 or 5 seasons in before I really started getting into it.
What was it like? The peer pressure finally? You were just tired of missing out, or what finally made you crack?
Yeah, I think that was it. It's one of those things. My old angry artist days of like, it's popular. I don't want too many people like this. How good can it be? If a lot of people like it, it's good. That's it's just the way it is. So it's just it's whatever. And then once I started watching it, because I think about it, it's like, why wouldn't I want to watch it? It's got all the stuff I like. It's not a genre I don't like. It's it's fantasy. It has like creatures, and it has like the political stuff, good characters. Like, why wouldn't I like this? So,
It kind of sucks because I've heard people talk about this series, and certain episodes or moments. Thankfully, I don't listen that well to people, so like I know there's a red wedding, but I don't know the exact premise.
Yeah.
I know that that was a day like my mom and dad needed a moment. They needed like to get away from the house and all of that. So Ashley, have you been like on this show since like episode 1, season 1 when it aired, or did you also like?
No, I had Ed's thing where I was like, it's too popular. I'm not gonna like it.
Huh.
And then somebody gave me the first 4 seasons are out, and they gave me the first 3 on DVD, and they're like, you have to watch this. So I let it sit around for a couple weeks, and then I started it, and then I finished it, and then I read all the books. I started listening to a podcast on the show and the books to learn everybody's name, and then I rewatched the show, so I'm pretty in.
So you read all the books?
Yeah, I read all the books.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you might have a doctorate in Game of Thrones.
Game of
Like,
Thrones.
this is a little okay. I'm in. I'm sold, and my goal is to get spun up before the new season. Because I do think it's cool that I have so many friends that, so when Sunday comes, they're all together hanging out, or they have like that chat group that they discuss. I mean, that's always cool, the camaraderie around the show.
A million YouTube videos of some
Goodness
real
gracious.
batshit theories.
You know what?
That's going to happen.
I remember coming to the house one day and my dad was like, telling me how I need to be watching Game of Thrones. He was like, I was kind of stuck in this wormhole in this conspiracy theory site. I said, what? For Game of Thrones? Who are you? Where is Mom? And he's like, she's in the other room on the other laptop looking at this other conspiracy theory.
And you go in, and there's like the pictures and the yarn connecting everything.
A question mark around Tyrion. No, not Tyrion, not half, man.
Bran is the Night King. It has to be.
I'm sure I imagine at some point am I gonna have to like pick a family or something? Like, is this sort of like a thing where I've got to pick a side? Let me know when.
I feel like there's clear right and wrong in this.
It gets pretty clear.
Because I'm kind of biased
on the
towards
type of person you
lions.
are.
So
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know about the whole Jamie and the Cersei thing. That love's a little weird, but it's whatever.
I mean, you can like the villains, but I think it's pretty clear like who's right and who's wrong for most of it. At least it gets clear as it goes.
Yeah, I think so. Unless you're a complete, sociopath. I think you pretty much are cheering for
But then again, I can see myself siding with the dragons. Just because it's fucking dragons by season 1. I thought this was something I would have to work for. No, I just needed Jason Momoa out the picture and we get dragons.
Well, it's cool because like a lot of the cool things with Game of Thrones is they just kind of hint at like the mystical, magical parts of it, and they build the characters and the families. So once you do see the dragons fully grown, it's holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And the animation, the CGI, and all that's not bad either. I'm really impressed by how well
they put a lot of money into the show. So yeah, it's great.
I'll keep you guys updated every episode. I'm gonna try my best not to make this into a Game of Thrones podcast, but Ashley, I feel like you wouldn't have no issues with that.
I'd be so excited.
I'm wanting to see what the Golden Company is going to look like.
Oh yeah.
Because they're not even really a big part of the books, right? So.
And there's all this other like he writes these little side stories. And I just don't know how everything's gonna because they're on like separate timelines. Yeah. So I have no idea how it's gonna tie in.
The Golden Company is kind of like the Westeros Blackwater. So, and that's who Cersei's hiring to help fight with this last battle. So we've never seen it. It's supposed to have like elephants and all the best mercenaries in the world are basically in this group. And once they get hired to do something, no matter what happens, they'll complete that task. So even when everything's going to go bad, it's going to be cool to see how they present this.
Is it messed up that sometimes I think about joining the Night Watch, but then I realize I'm not made out for that life at all?
No.
Be there with Bay Snow. Anyways, all right, so we talked about something really old, season 1 of Game of Thrones. I wanted to switch up something a little current. Did you guys see Avengers? I haven't heard your thoughts on Avengers.
Yeah, I saw Avengers. I saw Avengers.
Yeah, I saw Avengers.
It sounded like it was filled with like.
We want to get into this?
Yeah, I just want to know we don't got to spend a lot of time. I'm sure that you guys have talked ad nauseum about Avengers. I just want to just hear you guys high level or just how was it? How many times did you see it? How about that?
When did I see it?
How many times?
I only saw it once.
Oh, like you're like I'm not going through that again.
Yeah, like opening night, I saw it one time. I'm
Heart's
glad.
not big enough.
Did you cry?
Dude, so I was distraught in the first 15 minutes.
What?
Loki died.
Oh man, I
He's
forgot
not
about
dead.
Right?
He's not dead.
Okay, but he's already died twice and come back. So how many times can you do that?
He's like
No,
God.
definitely 2.
Okay.
2 is the limit.
So I was already in a hard.
They're just a chokehold. They didn't even like. If he ripped his face, he just choked him out. He's just faking it. He's probably
Okay.
like, yeah.
You know what? I forgot.
He's
he's
fine.
I'm ashamed saying this, but I forgot about your fandom of Loki. But I think the day I saw that in my head, I was like, "Ooh, Ashley's gonna cry."
So I was
when he
like
pulled out the little
distraught.
switchblade, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what are you gonna do with
It was
what are you
kind of
gonna do with
cute.
that?
It was.
He just beat the shit out of the Hulk.
Yeah.
Like Mike Tyson, 1986, beat his ass. It was crazy.
So yeah, I was like distraught through the whole thing, and then the ending was so upsetting. And can I say, like, Tom Holland gave an amazing death performance.
Yeah.
It like that's the part where I almost cried.
Mr. Stark.
He's like, I'm not ready.
Oh, it's not good.
I walked out of that movie just like upset.
Oh no.
I was like, I'm glad I only bought one ticket.
I'm not laughing at your pain. It's just I didn't think about Rick and Morty reference. That's pretty good. No, Tom Holland. I was like, I was doing pretty well. I was like, oh man, they're all turning into space dust, and then I was like, oh shit, Tom Holland looks scared. That looks painful.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I was hoping they would cut to Hawkeye's farm and show him
He
like
ain't doing shit.
he's like sweeping his porch
And then just goes away.
like,
And there's no one to like feel sad for
yeah,
him.
no
He
one's
just
sad.
disappears.
his wife's like, yeah, fuck that guy.
Life insurance money. Yes.
Shield insurance money. No, I did not think. First, like as far as a 2.5-hour movie goes, that movie I think flew by. The movie was hit the ground running from jump, and I didn't think they would do the. I didn't think they would do the. I didn't think they would kill off everybody. Yeah, just like the snap of the fingers, like the comic, and I really liked how they gave how much depth Brolin gave, and the script gave Thanos. Like in the comics, he's more of just
Dude, he's a
psycho.
Yeah, a straight
He
narcissist.
just wants to have sex with the skeleton woman. And this one is like, hey, I'm not everybody, just half. Not rich or poor, just half. Just random. It's just half. We can survive. We can't afford to, and you see his planet, like, and he was right, even though his methods of kind of solving the problem are really messed up, but you see why he has this purpose.
Yeah.
It's like it gives him and fleshed out, and with him and Gamora on this,
Dude, I thought Gamora gave a spectacular performance, and that's and definitely for me that I didn't always give her the props as like a really strong as a really interesting character. I mean, she was definitely a kick-ass character. She had great action scenes in the Guardians films, but I didn't know that we was going to get this depth to, that Zoe delivered.
and even threw in that cool flashback with her as a little kid.
Oh yeah.
when Thanos is killing off her planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like what's another cool nod to the comics, and I'm not sure if you guys talked about it, was in the when he used the reality gem and turned them into squiggly shapes and stuff. I was like, oh, that's right out of the comics.
I ended up reading Infinity Gauntlet right after the movie, and that was one of the scenes that showed, and I was like, man, they really paid homage to this just right. And even Thanos Quest, I thought it was cool that we still got to see Thanos kind of go on the hunt for some of these gems, and he wasn't like absolute, he was vulnerable and things like that. What do you guys think as far as like next steps? How do you, any theories? Anything you guys want to see? What about the after credits? Captain Marvel. Excited for that?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm just because we're going to see that movie, but that's going to take place like in the 90s or
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Well, I'm just wondering because I mean, obviously they're bringing everybody back. I'm just wondering when they're gonna do it. Like, how much of them are we gonna get in the next movie?
That's the thing. It's like because it looks like from like who survived, it's like it's going to be the original Avengers coming back for that final battle, and then those characters are probably going to be gone while the newer characters kind of carry the torch for the next line of films.
Yes.
Everyone's contracts up and all that real life stuff. I think I don't know I'm not sure if they're going to do the Adam Warlock thing since they teased him in 2.
Yeah.
Because you have to have somebody who can actually physically pose a threat to Thanos besides Captain Marvel and Hulk. Obviously he's
scared.
He's scared. He's too scared to come out. And I think I don't know. I think not Hawkeye, but I think like Ant-Man with the shrinking stuff, he could probably be a key into getting into the I don't know. I have no idea. It's going to be awesome. But I have no idea.
This got me excited. I was joking with Cesar because Cesar had said he said it throughout the years that once this movie came out, he was done with Marvel movies. He felt like he put in his time. And it's like, psych, you got to come back for one more, and you got to watch 2 movies to catch up. With it. So cool.
And I don't know. And like I said, there's who knows with the whole Fox thing if they're I think they're still negotiating, but having like a Silver Surfer character come in to fight Thanos and some more of those Fantastic Four cosmic people.
One thing I did enjoy about this movie a lot was the introductions of all these like different planets. Shout out to Rob. Dinklage was, Dinklage was a welcome surprise for me. I was like,
giant dwarf,
giant Dinklage
from half man to giant man.
That's a cool,
But the inclusion of all these different planets, they kind of fleshed out more of like the space aspect to the Marvel universe. So I'm hoping the possibility of maybe a Silver Surfer or maybe an Adam Warlock, but just kind of push that that kind of galactic leg of the Marvel universe. So
and then we fight Galactus.
And not a storm this time. Not a swarm of bees.
Grasshoppers.
Not the Wu-Tang Clan swarm of bees. All right. So it has been like about a month and a half since we've last seen each other. We were doing like those State of the Union type episodes, and we don't have to go into a bunch of lists, but was there any piece of news or announcement that happened in the last month or so that kind of got you guys hyped, whether it's going to happen in the future, maybe just happened in the past month?
Luke Cage season 2.
Dude, that trailer looks awesome.
When I first heard Bushmaster, I was thinking of Snake Guy.
Me too.
From Surfing Society.
Me too.
I was like, they can do that. Okay.
I posted a video on our Facebook page. It was like a 5-minute explanation of who Bushmaster was, but another Mike Tyson beatdown. And that was in the trailer. I was like, damn.
And then Nightshade, another, I think, 70s Iron Fist, Power Man and Iron Fist character.
Well, real quick, where was he in the trailer? Because I thought Nightshade was Shades. I thought that's who they were.
No, Nightshade's a woman. I don't know if she was in the... I don't remember if she was in the trailer.
Okay, because
I just read the article.
I read that too, and I was looking for someone in the trailer, but it only seemed to be Bushmaster, and then I saw a brief glimpse of Shades, and he looked like he was doing something, and I thought maybe he ascended to this Nightshade's persona.
And you noticed that like Misty was looking at like a schematics of an arm.
She had an arm in the trailer.
She did?
Yeah, when she uppercut that one dude, it was like that robotic arm.
Okay, that's right.
So she's about to get serious. Yeah, I'm excited for
Luke. It's a
Luke.
Stark arm, not a Roxxon arm.
That's great. And they don't got a warranty. So Luke Cage, anything else, Ed? Any other announcement?
That's the only one I think of on top of my head right now.
No worries. What about you, Ashley? What was an announcement or something that happened in the past month or so?
Probably... I mean, I think we were going to talk about this anyway, but that Deadly Class trailer behind the scenes.
Yeah, that was going to be mine.
That I don't know. I teared up for some reason. I don't know why.
Because first of all, Deadly Class is consistently one of the best comics that comes out on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Rick Remender and Wes Craig, right?
Yeah.
Have been knocking it out the park. It comes out at a pretty regular pace. I know sometimes Rick Remender gets backed up. And as a matter of fact, Image Comics in general can sometimes get backed up with that schedule. But I think Deadly Class in the comic book market, that was a great selection. And you got the Russo brothers doing a sci-fi TV show. Come on.
And the characters look like the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look really good.
I had to hit up Walt, and I didn't know Walt was a team... It's Saya, and then who's...
Saya and Marcus? Or Saya and Maria?
So Walt is also team Maria.
Yeah.
I was happy to see that she's included, but that doesn't surprise me. And it's sci-fi, man.
Yeah.
The Sci-Fi Channel is picking this up. I would have thought something like a Stars or a HBO, but...
they did Happy really well. Did you guys watch that? That Grant Morrison Happy?
Was it Grant Morrison?
Or was it Ellis? No, it was Grant Morrison. I get some of those weird
was it
guys. Oh, maybe it was.
It's one of those British
I get some
guys.
of those weird British guys mixed up. But that show was sci-fi.
Violent?
Yeah, it was super
it's probably Garth
violent.
Ennis.
And it was done really, really well. And so it gives me hope for this show on sci-fi.
I got a few quotes from the Russo brothers, and I also wanted to name some of the stars in this show. So Joe Russo had said, Deadly Class is one of the more twisted coming-of-age stories we've ever read. First time we read the book, we were blown away, so that's good to know that they're reading the source material. And as far as what you can expect from the Russo brothers, Joe also said, it's a mix of a lot of different sensibilities, spanning everything from our more intense action work, like Captain America the Winter Soldier, to more of our absurd sensibilities. So I'm just, like I said, it might not be a big deal. Maybe it's not uncommon for, blockbuster movie directors to do something like a TV series, but
they're from TV, though. So
okay, yeah. Really? Well, I mean, filming, and I'm totally ignorant to the fact. What have they done TV wise?
They were, what's that? Damn it. It just slipped my mind.
We can look it up. But it's just the fact that coming off of Avengers Infinity War, they dropped this trailer. It happened to be directed by the same people who just put out this awesome movie and some of the better Marvel movies. So I'll be happy for that. For those that haven't seen the trailer, the Deadly Class will star Benedict Wong from Doctor Strange as the headmaster, man.
Yeah.
Which is...
Yep.
Yo,
Wong getting to do stuff.
And look, the headmaster in the comic books is a scary badass. Who else is going to be in this show? Benjamin Wadsworth from Teen Wolf, Lana Condor from X-Men Apocalypse, Maria Gabriela del Faria from Yo Soy Frankie, Luke Tenney from Shock and Awe, Liam James, and Michael Duvall. So I'm excited for that.
Arrested Development. They were directors on that.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I think right now Deadly Class doesn't have a premiere date. They're just estimating sometime in 2019 it'll debut. But that made me think, we've said a couple times on this show that we feel like certain comic book properties would work better as a movie. Sometimes they'll work better as a series. I'm really happy to see something like Deadly Class get an actual TV series. Is there anything else from Image's really vast and really good library that we'd like to see? We'll start out is there anything right now aside from Deadly Class that Image has done? I know that they did
was Outcast?
Yes,
Outcast,
that was one.
And Walking Dead, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Walking Dead. Let's see what else. That might be it. But is there any other titles that we'd like to see them do in a TV format or even a movie format?
Southern Bastards.
I was gonna say
I
would lose it for Southern Bastards.
And I think it'd be so different too. Mm-hmm. Just have like a Friday Night Lights, vibe meets
Totally.
the Wire or something like that.
Yeah.
I was also thinking Curse Words. That series, Curse Words, because I can imagine it being like Game of Thrones kind of esque as far as the magic and that scenario, but insert like some sort of like really good like a comedy or whatnot. Because it's a really funny comic book. Is there any other
sex criminals?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Man, that'd be good.
Maybe some like Cinemax stuff late night.
Yeah, it would. I think they're. So if I remember right, somebody Badr is in the works to do Lazarus. And
Lazarus, which one's Lazarus? Is that the
it's Forever, like her name's Forever and she's like the hit girl, like protects the family.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So I think they're talking about doing that, and then they've been talking about doing East of West, which is he had to put out a source book. So it's gonna have to be a TV show that's like 10 seasons long.
That cannot be a
I think East of West you could cater to like the fans who like Westworld.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like those really like complex and world building. That'd be
This is an older one I like. It's kind of one of my guilty pleasure comics is Hack Slash. That would be a cool like horror anthology kind of like Adam put it the best way. It's like a R-rated Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Mm-hmm. I think that would be a good series.
If I was thinking about not just live action series, I think something like Headlopper. Isn't that on Image? Headlopper?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Headlopper would make a great. It already looks like an animated, cartoon in the comics. I think it'd be a good late night Adult Swim type show or whatnot. But I'm going through Image's comic book library. I think I did read something about Invincible, Robert Kirkman's superhero baby, getting a TV adaptation.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened already.
I think that's in the works.
The series is finished now.
And
So.
and I mean, kudos to us for picking these other titles, but I'm surprised either of us said Saga.
They said they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Really?
Yeah,
I
they
wouldn't
said
say
they'd
it
never do it.
Is
Why not?
interviews with Busey, he's like, this is meant to be a comic, not this or this or this. It's just this is the way it's written. This is the way it's meant to be presented.
Huh. I
mean,
gotta give them props for sticking to their guns.
I mean, who knows?
I know.
5 years from now,
When the numbers go up.
yeah. So once he wraps it up, who knows? He might do a series.
And then was Why the Last Man Image or Vertigo?
That was
Vertigo.
Vertigo?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, some pretty good ones. Since actually you chose Deadly Class, the only other announcement that I saw from the last month or so that had me kind of hyped was Alex Ross is putting out a book, a giant kind of coffee table art book called Marvelocity. If you guys remember, years ago he put out the DC one, Mythology, which was like all his unreleased artwork and definitely his covers and his sketches, things like that for the DC universe. Well, as you guys know, Alex Ross has been like in charge of all the covers on Amazing Spider-Man, all the covers for like I think Avengers. He just moved to doing the covers for Iron Man, and et cetera, et cetera. And I've been waiting on a book or something to collect all those covers because I'm just a big Alex Ross fan. I don't know who isn't, but yeah, it's coming out in October. It's called Marvelocity. Like I said, it's one of those big kind of coffee table books. Hold on, I got something here. He's doing it with co-authors Chip Kidd, and they are including 8 pages of like an original Spider-Man story that he's done. So I know it's up for pre-order on Amazon, and it's also going to have an introduction by J.J. Abrams. So I think it'll be like an official book. So and it's pretty cheap, like $35 for a coffee table book.
That's not bad.
So that's what I got for this. Do you guys got anything else? I wanted to go on break. We got some emails, and we could talk Deadpool too after we come back.
Oh,
yeah, Deadpool.
I want to talk
Sweet.
Deadpool.
Yes.
All right, so let's go on music break. Then we'll come back. We'll do emails, Deadpool, and Champion Season. Stay tuned. Oops, right, record, sorry.
Oh.
We might have to pass Cesar's funny voice email reading responsibilities to you, so just a heads up. So
I can't do a funny voice.
I won't put you on the spot for this one, but going forward, I need you to start practicing your Foley artist and your voiceover work.
Yes.
I mean, Cesar's left big shoes to fill, Ashley, so you're the only one that can step up to the table.
Cesar's a stand-up comedian.
Ashley, you've got...
I hate leaving
We
the
believe
house.
in you. We believe in you.
Ashley, you've got a week till we meet up again, so you got plenty of
We
time.
believe in you, Ashley.
You got this.
Yeah.
So we actually we got an email and a half, and I'll explain the half part after we get through this first full email. It's from Matthew Vigo. The email is titled Favorite Moment. He writes, "Congratulations on making it to 200. You all have interviewed a plethora of great talent, local and otherwise, and have brought some great insight into comic plots and spotlights on icons. What has been your favorite moment or episode, and why? Excelsior like a motherfucker." Ooh. That was from Matthew Vigo.
Dang, that's so hard.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day, and I feel like every season it changes, but the two that still stand out to me are, one, the first time I had my dad on, and I can't recall the episode number, but it was definitely like the early years. and only because I was so nervous of having him on. I knew that I don't know. I just had like these expectations. I wasn't sure like how I'd do around him, you know. And I know for sure in that first episode, I was definitely like the son. I was the respectable, like
That's intimidating guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And now when he comes on, I'm like, shut up, Dad. That's wrong. I'll tell you why.
My house, my rules.
We got food at the house. How does it feel? So that was a great moment, and it was the first time that Drew and Walt. Well, Drew had met my dad a few times before that, but it was the first time that my dad met Walt, and everything just like kicked off well. And that was the first time that we had like I remember Calvin was over that day recording that little short promo. As a matter of fact, it was episode 25. There it was. It was episode 25 because we did the little promo recording, commercial recording thing, and everyone seemed to love my pops. Walt loved them. Drew was super happy talking comic books. That was a great moment, great episode. And another one that sticks out is the time that we had Al Letson and Willie Evans on the show because they were promoting their Earth Thing podcast, and it was just a real fun episode. So those two stick out to me. What about you, Ed? You've got a few episodes underneath your belt, man. I think at least 100.
Yeah, I think
for sure 100.
Maybe. I think meeting your dad. I don't remember the first time. I don't know if it was that Fantastic Four, like the homework he gave us. Is that the
actually
Kirby, Stan Lee?
Man, I forgot. See, I forgot all about these. That's right. There was an episode where we all read the same 4 issues.
Yeah, we had like a homework assignment.
Yeah,
had to do a report to Badr's dad.
I had to wear a dunce cap that whole episode because I just messed it all up.
Episodes with your dad are really fun. Like that one, the Iron Fist one, was funny. And one of the more recent ones I like a lot is I like the Artist Series ones we've been doing. Yeah, and I really like the Hellboy one you guys did and the Kirby one. Yeah, so,
the Artist Spotlight's having fun. The only issue is I've become so obsessive with them. Like the week prior, doing all the research. Yeah, and then afterwards, I'm like, I'm good for the rest of my life.
And the Justice League.
The commentary episode?
Yeah, the commentary episode.
Dude, I've been thinking about, we're going to do another one. We need to, we can talk about it offline, but we need to find like one movie or something that we can watch together. I think DC just put out a couple animated movies. So what about you, Ashley?
So I think it was, I forget who was on it, but I know it was Dustin Harewood and Sean Thurston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a really, really good episode. I actually listened to that a couple times. And of course the ones with your dad.
Yeah.
Always. I remember the first one I was on it was a long time ago. It was like 5-6 years ago. I remember Walt. I said something. I forget I was talking about Thor and I was like, yes, man. So he's like an alien, right? Because he's like from another planet. So I know he's a god, but
I think
he's
you
like
blew
an
Walt's
alien
mind that
too.
day, right?
And he just stared at me. And I couldn't tell if he like hated me or if he's like, I never thought of that. But then I really like the Christmas ones.
I was going to say,
fun.
Yeah, last Christmas episode was a little absurd of all the alcohol. I went to a diabetic coma too. But
the cookies.
Thanks again for the email, Matt. Now, the reason why I say we have a half email, and I'm definitely, no names out there, but it was just an interesting one that came across. We got a request for an internship. Like a UNF student hit us up and was like, I would love to do it. I'm only laughing only because I was so humbled. I was like, what? Our show? Actually, I hit this person back. I was like, the Short Box Podcast, right? Like, you didn't mean to send this email to like GAM or something, right? This isn't from Ryan. That's also what I wrote. And it was a young lady. She was like, no, I've heard about the show. I'm a fan. I would love to do an internship. I'm a comm major. Et cetera, et cetera. So
abuse of power coursing through my veins.
I was talking to Cesar about it. I was like, yeah, man, I'm not too sure what I would have her do, but you know what? I could use some help around the house, especially when things like Mother's Day come up. And he was like, no, you asshole, you can't. It's got to be like, part of the program. So I think that's a big milestone for us. I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. 200 episodes is impressive. But to have an intern on the show?
That really lights a resume on fire.
Come on!
Internship at Shortbox.
What I might have her do if it goes through, is help us stuff the ballots for the best podcast awards this year. So,
That's right.
If anyone else is interested in internship of age, watch us get like a bunch of like 35-year-old dudes or 40-year-old dudes hit us up. They're already out of school. I just want to hang out with some friends.
I just need friends, y'all. It's the only social interaction I have.
So shout outs to that person that emails about
That's crazy.
internship. And before we hop off emails, I do want to say, if you are a YouTuber, a live streamer, or a video creator, GAM is hosting a meetup. They're hosting a network event similar to the podcast network event that we threw last month. This one's, like I said, aimed for YouTubers, live streamers, video creators. It'll be this Wednesday, May 23rd at the Museum and Gardens. It's where they throw the GAM shows themselves. So if you're one of those, or you're interested and you want to get out there, network with the fellow creators and video content folks, hit up Ryan or even hit up myself. I'll send you guys the information. We want to keep it private just so that way we know we're targeting that specific audience. But like I said, it's May 23rd at the Museum and Gardens. I think around 7 or 6, one of those. But like I said, network event. There'll be hors d'oeuvres and a chance to kind of talk about topics in that realm. Deadpool. So I caught Deadpool opening day. What about you, Ashley? Ed?
I saw it Friday.
I saw Friday, too.
Nice. I just saw that it broke 55.3 or 8 million opening day. It's like the best opening day of a rated R film, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I know on Rotten Tomatoes, which just putting it out there, it's 84% critic score, 85% audience score, which I think is really fair. I'd probably rate it around there. What did you guys think overall, Ashley?
I've seen the first one time.
Me too, and I want to see it again.
Yeah. I saw it in theaters, never really sought it out to watch it again, but I want to go see this one again so bad. It was so funny. And what's his name? Julian Dennison, Fire Fist. He was everything I was hoping he was going to be. He was my favorite part of that movie.
He's the kid from that one
Hunt for the Wilder
There you
People.
go. That gun. He played the same character, right?
Exactly the same character.
Got it.
He was from New Zealand, into gangster stuff. He was exactly the same character.
When he started pulling himself the invisible rope, I thought
That was awesome. What are you doing? What was that? There's no rope there. That was awesome.
Okay. What about you, Ed? A couple words about.
Are we doing spoilers or spoiler alerts?
Remind me at the intro to do spoilers, but yes, we won't get into too much detail. But if you haven't seen the movie, skip a couple 10 minutes
early.
or so.
It's opening weekend. I liked it a lot. I think, just to be nitpicking, I think some of the the fourth wall jokes are kind of forced in it.
I think it was too much.
It's too much,
a little excessive.
and I think those jokes work best once you have a lot of time to build up the drama, and then that's when I think they're most effective. But other than that, I thought it was cool seeing. I wasn't expecting to see. I didn't read anything going into it, so
Me neither.
A spoiler here. So I wasn't expecting to see Juggernaut, even though I thought that was who it was going to be. Since the Black Tom.
Yep,
Cassidy.
exactly. When he came out, I was like, damn, Badr, duh. Black Tom Cassidy.
And X-Force just
Dude, fighting the dust.
awesome.
Yo, what about this?
So awesome. I was not expecting that at all.
I do want to save this one for later, and we won't spoil this one aspect, but the Vanisher thing.
yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think that one, and there's a reason why I won't spoil it. I think everyone needs to see what that Vanisher thing is. But yeah, Peter, go back.
Yeah. Everyone else he didn't care, Shatterstar. Was and what's cool, I like all the
Sweet Bear.
I don't think they do as good a job as the Marvel movies, the MCU movies, but just some of the Easter eggs, like the Essex, the orphanage, which is another Mr. Sinister reference.
Did you catch the Alpha Flight?
The Alpha Flight on the cab. Yeah, that was pretty funny. But the post-credit scenes where he goes back into Wolverine Origins.
Oh, yeah.
man, I enjoy when he went back to the Ryan, actually meet Ryan.
But you know what I mean? It's you're in a big time now.
That movie was really fun. A great follow-up.
Yeah, the first half seemed kind of they're really trying to put a lot of stuff into it.
I didn't know how to feel.
Like he's going to this ice jail. Like what is going on here?
I mean, you know, when the thing happens to his the love interest, I didn't know how to feel, and then the intro, like the credit, the opening credits, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm like emotional.
The James Bond theme,
Yeah.
like the guy who killed John Wick's dog, like directed by.
Did you see what he said? The cream cheese spreader, like the effect, like that was hilarious.
It was like I said, the first I think like third of the movie seemed kind of like
it was all over the place,
but then it really like once the X-Force and Domino, I love Domino.
Mm-hmm.
She's so awesome.
Especially when he's talking, that power's not really that cinematic, and all the stuff is just blowing up around her. Sounds like someone who's, what is it? Sounds like someone who's created by a guy who can't draw feet.
Oh, that was amazing.
The Rob Liefeld jokes.
I felt like I was the only one that laughed at that joke in the theater I was at.
Yeah. Oh, that's, and then I know he said this in the first one. He's like, I got like bags of coke that buried next to the cure for blindness somewhere here.
Oh yeah.
And then you see it, and you open it up, and you see like the cure for blindness, like in a box.
All of my qualms with this movie, once I put it in context that Badr, this is a Deadpool movie. Yeah. Like it makes sense. Like the fact that the plot was kind of all over the place. I felt like
it makes sense with the character.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's Deadpool. Like his comics read like this. He's all over the place. He's breaking the fourth wall constantly. Someone had asked me that I think this was better than the first one. I said no, only because I went into the first one no expectations. I was honestly thinking that Fox was going to fuck this up. Yeah. And it just, I felt like it kind of, I don't want to say groundbreaking. There's probably a word less exaggerating than that. But we got a Deadpool movie done right. And then for this one, I think I had something to compare it to. So I think for the first one, for me, I remember leaving that theater like, holy shit, Deadpool might be my favorite like superhero movie.
But even though I said earlier that some of the jokes were forced, it wasn't like, okay, we'll do what the first one did, but like times 100. Yeah, they didn't really do that. So it's it was a fun movie. Like I had a really good audience in the movie theater too. So it was really fun to watch.
You think it was better than the first one, Ashley?
Yeah, I do.
I like it better.
Okay. And I can handle Deadpool in like tiny doses. Like I'll read the short like 6-issue like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe and stuff
I'm
like
not
that.
a fan of the character. I'm not really a big fan of the character.
Yeah.
But the movies I've enjoyed because like it is like you said, small doses.
Let's talk about
baby legs.
That's his basic. That's his basic instinct.
And the only other thing, my only other real minor criticism, I wish they did more with like Cable's backstory.
Ditto. I felt like it was ham-fisted.
You see, like the scene is just like him in his apartment, and then it's like, what happened? You don't really know what happened.
It took a while for them to kind of pull you in. And to be honest, they could have done without Cable because they introduced so many characters. I feel like maybe they should have waited.
Kind of like the straight man to the joke, the comedy guy.
Yeah,
so.
They had a lot of characters. I don't know if it was just to be like a parody of Infinity Wars because I mean we got to see Colossus like really kind of shine. Juggernaut, like you said, awesome. Black Tom Cassidy. Fire Fist. There was a lot of things going on.
You racist!
What did he say on his deathbed? He said, "And I hope you Cable can learn to judge people by
the character, not the color of the skin." And that's another cool thing too is when like he had all the ash on him. It was kind of like
his X-Force costume,
gray uniform.
Yeah, that was a good shout out.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. It's
absolutely
worth seeing.
Absolutely. And the thing is, you can't take it like I said. All my qualms, I was like, well, I can't take it serious. It's a Deadpool movie. It should be like this.
Good thing about that character is you can kind of have that freedom.
Let a lot of things fly. I didn't leave crying. I needed this after Avengers. I was like, okay, I needed this one. I want to make a comment about because I think with Deadpool, and this could just be me, I look at it as the whole package because even the first movie, the movie was great, so they put out a great product, but the marketing for me, watching what they did with the marketing of the first one, I think only added to the full package. And they definitely outdid themselves as far as marketing this time. And I just wanted to name a few of the things that they did. So before the rollout, this is during the rollout, etc. But they made a fake LinkedIn for Peter. You can go on LinkedIn and find Peter. It's pretty good. They did such a good job because he's got an article that he wrote for LinkedIn. It's like 2 years old, so it's pretty good. They also did release like some special covers of other popular movies, and I think it might have been like a Walmart deal. So like Terminator, Assassin's Creed, Good Bad Ugly, Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah,
I think if you go to Walmart now, they have these Deadpool covers.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool. He did a commercial with David Beckham because he made that joke in the first movie referencing him. So he's got a commercial with David Beckham. He was on this South Korean TV show called King of Mass. He teamed up. This one is. I might go to 7-Eleven after this, but he teamed up with 7-Eleven and Trolley Candy, the people who make like the sugary sweet candies, and they have tiny hands, like tiny hands candy. Let's see what else. And this list is short compared to the full one, but they had that Celine Dion music video Ashes that he stars in.
I just watched that this morning.
Yeah. I was happy to see that the Ryan Reynolds being the butt of the joke was consistent. I mean, there was the Green Lantern end credit, but as far as endorsement, Deadpool was endorsing this tequila brand called Espolon, and it was a jab. He actually makes a jab at Ryan Reynolds buying a gin company because Ryan Reynolds ended up buying a gin company. So it's just, like I said, it's just so fun to see it's such a fun movie, and even their marketing is so fun. And it seems like they get away with a lot as far as the marketing. He was on the late night show of Stephen Colbert, and he's PG, but still, it was just good. Yeah, everything about
I'm
Deadpool.
Hoping, like with this whole transition, they kind of keep him in his own, making his own movie with his own like the weird characters that are in the comics. Hope they don't really stop this franchise. Yeah, going forward.
Agreed.
Or try to integrate him, like force him into, because it just doesn't fit like MCU. I don't see him fitting in.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to fit in. No. And it'll be
his own thing.
Do you guys think that we'll get a third one? And if we do get a third one, I mean, what direction do you think they'll go?
I think we will. I feel like we will. Especially if it's doing really well. And in that last scene, he's got a whole cast right there.
Yeah, he can do a team movie now.
I heard them considering doing like an X-Force movie, because since Cable in storyline in the movie said he's
staying behind,
he's staying to keep the future from being shitty. So you could do an X-Force movie. There's some Deadpool Max series with like him and Domino, which I think would be fun movies. Or him in like, you can even use kind of like in comics I like him a lot, but in film I don't know how Taskmaster would translate, but I think he'd be a cool villain.
Okay.
For him to
fight. And I'm not too familiar with like Deadpool villains, but at the end of the movie, if they were to, I'm sure they'll do a third one. As far as the X-Force teams, so we've got Deadpool on there, Colossus, Cable, Domino, Negasonic, Teenage Warhead. And did they say who her girlfriend was? Like, did they ever give her a name?
Yukio?
I don't know.
But hey, Yuki.
How you
And I guess now Fire Fist. I don't know. Is Fire Fist a character from the comics?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But man, they got to put that kid in the next movie.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be in it. So I was thinking
his butt plug, or his what would they call it? His
prison
jail
wallet.
His prison wallet.
Put it back
in prison. What? Oh God, I don't want to know.
When he was drawing that map, he was like, "This kid's got a pen." Yeah. Okay. So we are at a good point to go ahead and jump into our champion season.
Did you realize that you are a champion?
For those of you tuning in for the first time, Champion Season is our segment of the show where everyone gets a chance to highlight a few things within pop culture that has really resonated with them this week. So it could be a comic book, a TV series, a book, music, etc. It can be anything we want. It's our chance to tell you about something that's awesome that you should check out. Ashley, you want to start us off? What are you championing today?
So I thought I was going to do it a little different, and I'm going to champion actors that I've kind of been noticing lately that I'm like into.
Came back after that month-long hiatus, fresh.
All right, so I got
Tom Huddleston.
Boomerang, the guy who
was Boomerang. Captain Boomerang.
So my first one's going to be Tessa Thompson.
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, yeah. I've been watching Westworld, and so she was a very small part in the first season, and then the second season, I think they kind of realized what they had, because they've made her a much bigger part of the show, and she is absolutely fantastic. So definitely Tessa Thompson. I don't know what else she's doing. I got to look it up, but I just watched an episode of Westworld last night, and it was amazing.
I'm sorry. Tessa Thompson's also going to be in that movie, Sorry to Bother You. That stars...
Yes, which goes to my next one. Is it Lakeith Stanfield?
Yes. Darius from Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been catching up on Atlanta.
Are you done with season 2?
I had 2 episodes behind.
Okay. Is it... We got to talk Atlanta real quick, because I haven't... Other besides Drew and Walt, is it this season not, like, really, like, kind of... It's not... I'm not saying it's not funny, but it is hard-hitting. This one has been, like... emotional.
Yeah, was it the Teddy? I forget what it was.
I don't want to say his name. Like that was a freaky episode.
About? Okay, I did not
Darius
know.
cry?
Yeah.
I was heartbroken.
I did not know what I was getting into with that episode. Yeah. And I just turned it on thinking I'm watching Atlanta, and then it was over, and I was like traumatized.
I feel like all of these episodes has been like, am I watching Atlanta?
Yeah. And there's like a little bit of humor in there, but when you finish it, you feel weird.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. But he's been doing great.
He's like kind of the light part. So when you see him emotional or something wrong with him, you're like really affected by it.
Yeah. That's like, when the class clown came to class like crying, you're like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah.
Not Billy.
So he's really stood out this season. And then I didn't know he was in Get Out. So I watched it again, and I was like, "Oh man!"
Yeah, he played the character that needed to get out. Yeah, he needed to get out.
He was in an episode of Black Mirror. I didn't realize who he was.
What?
Yeah,
he's a British guy.
That. It's like he's British too.
British?
No. You're talking. We're talking about the dude that actually needed to.
Okay. My bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I know
the main
who you're
star
talking about
of
now.
Get Out is
Okay.
British. Yeah.
The Black Panther
he was British
dude.
Till I saw that.
Yeah.
It's like another British guy.
Always gets me. And then the last one is going to be Julian Dennison, because if you haven't seen Hunt for the Wilder People, he's pretty much the kid from Deadpool without powers. Like he names his dog Tupac. I hope he does more stuff.
Isn't the director of that movie? Wasn't he the director of Thor?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, word.
Taika Waititi.
Okay. Word. Good champions, Ashley. I like the switch up. You came in here rejuvenated, fresh, had ideas, brought beer.
Yeah, I did bring loose beer in my purse.
Just random, yeah.
I'm liking season 5, Ashley. Ed, what about you? What do you got a champion?
I'm gonna do. I'm probably late on this, but the NPR Tiny Desk Music Series.
So good.
I just kind of fell down this rabbit hole. I never really looked into it. I just kind of something popped up on YouTube, and I just kind of went down this rabbit hole. But it's supposedly there's controversy. We talked about NPR. It's done in their music office, but they have all these. Basically, they're playing in like an office with like bookshelves and stuff in the background. Yeah. But the first one I saw was Big Daddy Kane, and I just started going down the list of different people. So it's like a nice intimate live setting with some surprisingly big people. Like there's like one with Adele with just a guitar player and a keyboard player. That one was really good. And like the T-Pain one was really awesome. Seeing like kind of a stripped down, just a guy like him singing, no auto tune, and a keyboard. Yeah, you forget he's a pretty damn good singer. Yeah, he's a good singer.
It kind of feels like you saying stripped down just reminded me like MTV Unplugged, but minus even smaller scale than that.
Because this isn't like a venue. This is just like maybe cameramen and like maybe 20 people. It could be a full on stage, like you told me about that article.
Apparently, there's and for our listeners who watch the NPR Tiny Desk series, there's a YouTube series and a podcast series too. But I ran across this article, and the headline was almost too silly for me. But I was like, this is kind of a little morbid. It was like Tiny Desk series. Not really tiny. And it was like talking about like how big of a production it actually is, and how they were like giving me the measurements of the desk and shit and like the modern size. I was like, I can't read that. I don't want to ruin this. Like I'll be oblivious to this.
But like if you want to see like big artists or even just like discover new people, just seeing them in kind of like a small setting, it's a really cool, like an intimate venue. It's a really cool series to check out. Yeah. So this, from 10 to 20 minutes, so it's not like a full on concert. It's just 20 minutes at the most and 3 or 4 songs. It's awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. Passing it on?
Yep.
Okay. I got 3. I'll make them really quick. First thing I want to champion is the group Odessa. They are a hard to put a label on them, but they're like an indie electronica house group. It's consisted of 2 members. I mean, they definitely play instruments. They played the drums, the keys, I think some of the trumpet or whatnot. But I went to their concert here in Jax it was Wednesday, and I've seen them twice, and they throw a spectacular performance. You got to get through, like, they normally have like some kind of dubstep electronic type openers. Once you get through that and you get to them, I'm telling you, it is a phenomenal show. Their light show is great. They've got like really good visuals in the background. I know that they really focus on hiring the best, like graphic designers or videographers, etc. And the absolute best part is I don't know if they always have a drum line, but they had a drum line for this concert, and they were the University of South California drum line. Spectacular! It was an incredible show. If you get a chance to see Odessa live, give them a listen. On Apple Music or stream. Give them a taste if you like it, or even somewhat curious. I'm telling you, you'll be a fan by the end of the show. It was a phenomenal show. Second time seeing them, and I'll continue to see them as I can. Next thing I'll champion is an IDW book. It's Godzilla, The Half-Century War. Is written and drawn by James Stocco. It's just really good. Imagine Brian Hitch level of like detail in the art, but still very comic booky, bright colors.
Yeah, cartoonier.
It's just a lot going on. And I read it digitally, and I'm about to buy the hardcover because I think that might be the way to look at it or view it. But it follows the story of this young private in the Japanese military. It's the story of Godzilla's first encounter. He ends up joining this division specifically designed to hunt down these monsters, and it takes 50 years of his life, thus the half-century war. And it's just a unique perspective through the human eye viewing Godzilla. I think, Ed, you might have championed something that viewed Godzilla as more of a force of nature rather than a monster, and that might just be the Godzilla theme. But it was just a good overall. I think 6 issues. Art's fantastic, story's phenomenal. I'd highly recommend check it out. And the last thing I'll champion is the Joe Budden podcast. It has absolutely taken all of my time besides Game of Thrones. Imagine. Joe Budden is a retired rapper who's now become kind of this media, pop culture critic. It's him and his 2 homeboys. They're from like Jersey/New York, and they shit talk and critique and just have really nice, awesome, funny, hilarious conversations about pop culture and the different things going on in the music business. So I highly recommend checking them out. They got a YouTube series, and then they drop the episodes in podcast format the day after. So that's what I'll go into champion. Do you guys have any shout outs or plugs, shameless things you guys want to plug in, et cetera, et cetera? Ashley?
I've got a bunch of art up at the Bold Bean in Jax Beach.
Ooh, nice.
That's about it.
Fancy.
That's like a very prestigious like level there. They only put like they put what I like to call like chill. Like, like
Calm artwork.
Yeah. You don't want to like be staring at flower vagina while you're drinking your coffee.
It's funny. I went to set it up, and Sean Thurston was the one that met me there to help me hang it up.
Word, okay.
The first piece I sold was M'Baku, and the second one was a Cerberus.
Wait, tell me. So you're actually putting characters up?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
he
dope.
was
No, that's
kind of.
awesome.
I only did a couple.
Okay.
But M'Baku was the first one. The guy's like, I gotta have this, and
Hell
then the
yeah.
Cerberus is that 3-headed dog that guards hell. And this, like, I don't know if she didn't know what it was, but this older lady bought it.
Don't tell her.
She thought it was actually just 3 dogs really close together. Oh, look at these 3 dogs.
So adorable.
Dude.
So you never know what people are gonna like. So it's been
Actually,
fun
that
so
is
far.
awesome.
Yeah.
Learn to like
yeah.
whatever people think it is. You just kind of go with it.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah,
Oh yeah,
of course.
That's awesome.
You know what?
You see it.
Maybe I'll go to the Jax Beach Bold Bean and hype up the artwork while
That
I'm
would
there.
be awesome.
Oh my fucking god! Does she belong to a podcast? Clearly giving myself away. All right, cool. So check out the Bold Bean at Jax Beach.
Very nice.
And whatnot. Ed, what about you? Shameless plug, shout outs, etc.
Just EdBot5000 on Instagram. I got a Patreon. If you go to my website, it links all to all my social media. So
Word. And we got the link to Ed's. I don't know what that link is, but if you click the Ed's link on our website,
Links to the website,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll send you to all that too.
Yep, it's like a landing page, so it'll go to wherever.
Yeah. I've got a few. First thing I want to shout out Chadwick and the Comic Book Fiend Club. I was looking for this this elusive and exclusive Walmart edition of this Thanos figure. I couldn't find it here in Jack's. Chadwick put the word out, and the Comic Book Fiend Club helped me out.
Nice.
So it was kind of cool to see that network is really useful. So follow them on Instagram. It's the Comic Book Fiend Club. They are
like chapters everywhere.
Yeah, it's like a don't fuck around and say some like foul shit at a comic shop. No, they're really good people, and especially shout out to Chadwick, good dude too. I want to plug the GAM anime show Saturday, July 28th. That's going to be at the museum. You can buy tickets at gam.event.bright. They're all over social media. Just type in GAM, GAAM. We have a discount code for you if you haven't bought your tickets. GAM, GAAM, Shortbox 10. That's the number 10. That's a 10% discount off your tickets. Make sure you buy them early because they are liable to sell out. It seems like every year that the tickets sell out faster and faster, and as usual, this event's only going to continue to get bigger. So Saturday, July 28th, GAM Anime Show. Let's see. MegaCon, I won't be there. I don't think any of you guys are going to be there, but shout out to anyone that's going to MegaCon. If you have a cool experience or you want to tell us about your experience, shoot us an email at theshowboxjacks@gmail.com, and I'll go ahead and plug in the 200th episode. I ran into some people that aren't on social media at all, and they weren't aware that we put out the 200th episode on our YouTube channel. So just a heads up, if you're not following us on social media, we put out the 200th episode as a video first. It's on our YouTube channel. Just search the Shortbox Podcast. And yeah, that's all I've got. What we're about to play, you may have noticed that Cesar is not here with us today, and in the last episode, he dialed in. So I've got a quick little Where's Cesar segment that's going to play right after this. I want to give everyone a shout out for following us, liking us. I got hit up a lot during our downtime asking where the hell is the new episode. I think people actually thought we just stopped. That this 200th episode was never going to come. But so thank you for all our supporters and fans and whatnot. Continue to follow, like us, subscribe, and word of mouth. You know, this podcast can only grow at this point through word of mouth and just telling your favorite fanboy, fangirl in your life about us. So without further ado, let's go and play this Where's Cesar segment, and we'll be back next week, folks. Peace.
Hey, yo, son.
Cesar, so weird that you picked up the phone and my recording equipment is on. Weird.
I knew you were doing this shit to me.
Yo, son, where you at, man?
We actually are recording now, aren't we?
I don't know what you mean. I'm just saying, like, I called you, you picked up, and some reason, like, the phone's hooked up to the mixer, and the mixer's...
I love how you're trying to manufacture this. This is natural. This is what I like. This is what I signed up for this. So, Cesar, this is totally impromptu. Tell us about your life.
Oh, shit, man. Shit. Dude, no one is here on a Sunday. I feel a little lonely. The house is rather quiet. And I have been bombarded.
Did you actually murder everyone?
She's working her way through. She's slowly but surely getting to everyone.
That's a tired joke, but I saw the low-hanging fruit and I had to take it.
Yo, that's what we're all about on this show, right? When did we upgrade our morals? Our standards?
You're right.
Nah, man. No, but dude, it's funny that you have been like you've been gone from Jack's for a couple about like a week or two, about two.
Yeah, I am no longer in the state of Florida.
The timing was just like kind of perfect too, because we haven't put out an episode in like almost the same time that you've been gone. So everyone's been like, one, where is Cesar? Two, why the hell haven't you guys put out a new episode? And I feel some sort of way, man. Like, what about me or Ed or Adam? Like, everyone's asking, where is Cesar? I feel like you're Waldo or Carmen Sandiego, really, with your background.
I have been wearing a red and white sweater everywhere I've gone, so that might be what's going on. I don't know.
I thought it was for the Waldo calendar shoot.
Yeah, I was going to say I am in Fort Meade, Maryland, at the Defense Information School, learning how to be a broadcast journalist. Broadcast communication specialist for the United States Air Force. That is what I am doing.
God damn, I've never heard a sexier title than that. Like, I probably would have fucked it up. I would have been like, I'm in a I can't even.
Why is that your default voice?
Because in my mind and spirit, I know that I'm still Peter Parker. No matter how.
No, here's what you need to understand. Ryan is not here. He can't hurt you. Okay?
Aw.
You should have a better
Image.
I guess a self-image, I want to say, of your. I got to tread lightly because you're mad narcissistic. So if I say something nice about the character, I feel like
Yo,
it's gonna bite me in the
real
ass.
quick, I like how you're like, Ryan isn't here. You can be you, Badr, but not really because you're kind of a piece of shit, cocky bastard. Oh, shit.
Damn, dude. I miss you, man. I miss everybody.
I know it's definitely it's been quiet without you, man. And
Oh, that's nice. Okay, well.
I mean, and not a good way. Like I enjoy the raucous that you bring, like the energy and the humor, and like the daily like calls and checkups that we do as friends. I want to go take a step back because
what are you trying to do, man? Try me all soft on the streets with that shit, man. You better edit that shit out.
Yeah, I can't have you a target.
The calls.
So, and the purpose of me giving you a call is so that we I think we do our best comes out when we get behind the mics, and we have kind of the show as that element.
Right.
So the goal was to just give you a call and to give our fans a kind of an insight into not a complete wide open view into our lives, but just that little bit of like, hey, this is what I do on the in my real life behind the mic. Because so many people have been wondering, hey, where's Cesar been? Like I see that he's not on the show. He's not on Straight Chillin'. Like his pictures and posts are like tagged somewhere else.
And you're like, I fired him. That's the answer. So there you go. Stop asking.
I'm whispering into Adam's ear every time I get asked a question. Adam says I can't answer that.
Yeah, nice.
No, dude, but I think a majority of people who have been listening to the show for as long as we've been doing it, probably already know that we're both enlisted, we're in the National Guard, etc.
That's true.
But they're, with us nearing 200 and kind of grabbing on to new listeners, etc. I think it'd be nice to, just give them an update, man. Like, what do you mean by being at Fort Meade? What do you mean by the broadcaster for the military?
Okay, so here's the long and short of it. You and I were once in the same career field for like 2 months. I mean that, I guess, metaphorically or symbolically, because you were in it for a little bit and now you left me. But
it was a year. What's that? It was a long, fun year for the record.
That's true. So what I do in the military is essentially I am a broadcast journalist. And for that field, I am required to go to the Defense Information School to get trained in all of the things herewith that pertain. So whether that means learning how to interview a high-ranking official, politician, or just, anyone off the street, I have to know how to do that. I have to know how to do it professionally. I'm responsible for knowing how to use the technology, such as editing systems and broadcast equipment, whether that be a high-end camera or a small recorder, to interview somebody in a sort of impromptu way.
Word.
So that's what I'll be up here till August. Middle of August is when I graduate, and it is a school that everybody in the military goes to, not just people in the Air Force or the Air National Guard, as it were. There are soldiers in my class. There are airmen. There are sailors. We got them all. The only branch that's not represented are the Marines.
Well, they can't work a camera anyways.
What'd you say?
I said they can't work a camera anyways.
See, that's I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yo, that's that inner branch like brotherly like love though.
Dude,
I say it with love.
That's the one thing is that the rivalry is thick, spelled THICC. Okay.
It's got humps. Oh damn,
dude! If the rivalry between services was J-Lo's ass,
oh, that's good.
That shit would be banging. It's ridiculous. It's good though for me because I'm an E5, so that means I'm a staff sergeant in the Air Force. and I'm one of the ranking NCOs in class, and I'm with a bunch of like little 18-year-olds that just got out of basic training, so they're still straight boot, and not just for the Air Force, some of them from the Navy and from the Army as well. So it's kind of like a leadership exercising. Do you remember when Wolverine took over after Cyclops'
dude, I can learn.
X died?
I can learn anything when you tie it back to comics. Yes,
so that there's a classic, I think a classic panel or a cover where Wolverine is actually like writing his name on
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they've got like the kick me sign on his back, and all the students are being. That is exactly my life right now.
God. Kind of envious.
I've got a bunch of New Mutants that I'm responsible for.
Oh shit! Oh,
these motherfuckers don't give a shit.
Well,
like I gotta hem up a few, but they're all good for the most part.
I guess if any of them would be to listen to this, I warn you guys. You have Logan now. Don't make it to where, remember when Magnus took over the school when Professor X supposedly died, and that shit was like a boarding school, like a strict boarding school. Yeah, don't push C to that. So I gotta ask, and part of it is jokingly, but I imagine by the time you're done for this school and learning everything you need to learn to fine tune like your broadcasting skills, your interview skills.
Right.
And kind of your personality, presence skills, I imagine you can take away from that, not only in the job field, but let's think about it. You do 2 podcasts. You're also a stand-up comedian. Do you think that those hobbies and other things that you do will be amplified with the skills you learn?
Absolutely. And I would go as far to say that the reverse also happens as well, because I do stand-up. There are times when we're in the announcing class and you have to read a news copy. You have to affect a certain mood when reading the copy. It's not a matter of this is blah, 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 and here's the news, blah, blah, blah. You can't be serious for a happy story and happy for a serious story. Like if you got a goofy smile on your face and you're like, 2 men died today, you sound like a psychopath.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So you have to know which affectation to apply to the news copy. And that comes, you kind of have to act a little bit, you're not really putting on a character. It's not like a method and I'm getting into the role, I'm not Heath Ledger, trying to get into the Joker role when I'm reading a newscast, but there is a level of, theatricality involved. Not maybe like, not 90, but like maybe about 50% of it. And the rest is being able to read.
Word. So, and I know that where you're at right now is kind of your old stomping ground, right? Like because you were born in Maryland or lived in Maryland for a hot minute, right?
Believe it, I was born in Jacksonville, Florida on NES Jax.
Got it, okay.
Most of my formative years were spent in Waldorf, Maryland.
Okay. And that's not that far from you, right?
Nope. About maybe 40 minutes away, which is anywhere in Jacksonville, which is that cracks me up when people are like, "Oh, that's in where, Maryland? Oh, that's a long ways away." I'm like, "How long?" And they go, "Well, it's about 40 minutes." I'm like, "Shit, that's a drive to work in Jacksonville, man. Give me a break."
Yep,
that's no big deal.
So, what's the comic book scene? Because I got to put my nerd card on the table. There isn't Third Eye Comics the one up there?
I don't know about that. I know there's a lot of comic book shops up here. And it's the funny thing is that in Maryland there were always comic book shops like everywhere.
Yeah.
I think that's a Northeast sort of thing.
Yeah.
So even like when it wasn't really mainstream, there was a bunch of comic book shops already going out of business. But the scene's pretty good, man. And honestly, like is it
kind of a similar to nerd scene? In Jax, you got like the comic shops, you got like your video game crew, you've got the art crew.
I'm going to tell you this: there is no scene like the Jacksonville scene, and I'm not just saying that. Like the Jax, pop culture, nerd culture, comic culture scene is so friendly and so warm. And I miss it terribly, you know, like, sometimes I'll put up with Ryan's snarky remarks just so I can, you know, just so I can have a taste of a gam image on Instagram, you know, like, I'm being silly, but at the same time, the scene is about as strong as it would be in any other place.
Okay.
I'm just biased, man.
Yeah,
I miss Jacksonville. It's, the people there are nicer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not to disparage the North in any sort of way, but, man, people drive like straight buttholes up here. I'd forgotten about that.
You know, so speaking about the military and just kind of like comic books, etc. So, you know, Facebook will do that, you know, a year ago today type stuff, or, you know, type reminders. And today happens to be the day that we got a chance to catch Avengers Age of Ultron, I think. When we were in Amsterdam, and it was about a week early because I think the global release was a week early from the U.S. release. So
that's true.
I got to ask, what do you plan? Have you already bought your tickets for Infinity Wars? How are you planning on catching that?
I am buying my tickets tomorrow for Infinity War.
Nice.
And there's a Cinemark movie theater. It's ginormous. It's right next to where it's about maybe a 5-minute drive from where I'm staying outside of Fort Meade. And yeah, like that was one of the first things I did was try and find a theater because I got to catch it, man.
Absolutely.
I got to catch it.
And speaking about things you got to catch, any plans for Free Comic Book Day?
I don't know, man. It's weird. So like, I wanted to make plans, but the thing is that I don't know what kind of schedule they have us on because this training is ridiculously intense. They say you have free time, but you don't know if you're going to need that free time for homework. And when I say homework, it's not like, all right, kids, let's take out your books, turn to page 3 and do the math problems. It's, all right, kids, grab your camcorder or grab your and get that interview, you know? So it's very like, okay, well, fly by the seat of your pants, but controlled chaos sort of thing.
So they got you out here.
I have time.
So they got you out here acting like Headmaster Logan and motherfucking smoke 12 packs a day Ben Urich.
They got me out here acting like Logan and Clark Kent.
Ooh.
Because I kid you not, a lot of the guys that teach the class are either prior service military and they did it, you know, when they were in the military and they just retired and now they teach, or they're, you know, full on still wearing the uniform teaching. And the guy who's in charge of it, I swear to God, he is like Perry White. Like, that is not an exaggeration. I think I've told you this before in previous conversations where he gets up there and he almost delivers the lines from Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve where he's like, you got to go out there and hunt for stories. You know, stories aren't, you know, they don't just happen. Great reporters make the stories great. Isn't that right, Lois? You know, and like some airman's like, yeah, Chief. You know, like it's that I felt so like, wow, like this is cool. Like I'm feeling that comic book life because you're not the only one that associates things with comics. Clearly, the first day I got there, you know, I'm sitting here, you know, listening to this dude thinking, wow, like I'm a freaking journalist. This is, I'm Carlos Kent, you know, like this is crazy.
Working for the Latino Review. Finally got his shot. That's funny.
Wait, there was a Latino Superman. That was in the Gods and Monsters Superman. He was Mexican.
Yep, there was. Hell, even the old boy from the TV series was Hispanic, right?
Oh, Dean Cain?
No, not Dean Cain. The Adventures of Lois and Clark?
Yeah, that's Dean Cain. No, he was Polynesian.
Fuck, okay. Wow, we had a Polynesian Superman. Well, goddamn.
He got to it before The Rock did.
I was like, damn.
You know, The Rock would have done it. You know, he would have.
Oh, that's good. Well, see, I'll ask one more question. I'll let you go, man, because I'm sure that you've got some work to get to. What are you going to champion, man?
I actually do.
How have you been occupying your time outside, like with the free time that you actually have?
Honestly, it's so because I have been in a sort of Superman type mentality. I picked up a few Superman books over at where did I get them? Some from Amazon, some from Books A Million. We dare not mention their name. But yeah, I read the Jeff Johns, John Romita Jr. Man of Tomorrow. I thought that was good. I'm going to champion that.
That's when he loses his powers, right? Or he gains a power and loses a power, right?
That happens like at the end, and it's not that big a deal. Like he finds out he has a new power, which I was like, when I first heard of it, I was like, what? He explodes, and then I was like, but that's cool because then he has a weakness, like he explodes all his powers in a supernova blast, and now he's without powers for 24 hours. But the way they explain it, of course, Batman had to explain it to him. Like he's like,
and that's some shit,
dude. It's so funny because he's like, he explodes in the supernova blast, and he stops the bad guy, and he wakes up and he's in the Batcave, and he's like, hey Clark, how's it going? He's like, what? And essentially he's like, look, you apparently have a new power. You can super blast everybody, but at the same time, you're out without powers for a day. And Supes is like, well, how did that happen? And Batman's like, well, apparently your heat vision is just a precursor to the actual power. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's kind of cool. Like, I mean, it is very explainy. Like, it's like, well, for everybody who didn't know, this is this. Like, but at the same time, it does make sense. So,
when I read that panel, I read it as like Batman like punking him the whole time, like kind of like shoving him, and for the next 24 hours, you're a fucking pussy, and so don't do anything crazy.
Well, he says something to the effect of, I'm jealous, like that you have this other ability, like Batman respects him. But that's a good one. I've been reading The Adventures of Superman, Volume 1 and 2, and those are short little...
Yay, the ones based on the animated series, right?
Nope. These are all one-shots. Like, it's what Legends of the Dark Knight was in the 90s, where like they had different artists and writers kind of do weird stories. I would equivocate it to the like Twilight Zone, but for Superman, like anthology stories where it's just like different stuff. And since we're going to keep it a little balanced here,
bring it.
I bought a Books A Million. God, they're the devil, dude.
Yeah, they are.
They're the devil. They had a Brubaker Daredevil trade, an omnibus.
Ooh.
And a Brubaker Daredevil omnibus. $75 normally. I bought that shit for $20.
Dude, that is a steal. I know. I don't even think in stock with their half off prices that low.
It's so good.
It is. So noir at its finest.
Yeah. So since you mentioned Ben Urich, I had to show old Hornhead a little bit of love.
Yeah, man.
But other than that, it's pretty good. Just staying on the grind, saving lots of money, and missing everybody back home. I'll be back in August, but that can't come fast enough.
I feel you, man. And like I said, man, I mean, not only I miss you a lot, the crew misses you, and the community definitely misses you a lot too, man. The short box is definitely not the same without you. So we will be.
That means a lot, man. That means a lot.
And I know it's not the same, doing group podcast episodes with like a phone in and stuff. That can be a little challenging, or if it presents certain challenges, but I think we'll figure something out during the time that you're gone, man. Like I know for a fact this won't be the last time, and this is for me addressing the fans, this won't be the last time that you hear Cesar's voice before August.
Oh, and this is for actually something else that I'm reading that it's funny. So for all my friends that know me, they know I have very strong opinions about Star Wars. And I'm sure Lars and Adam are both rolling their eyes / kind of chuckling at this. Like, yeah, that's the understatement of the fucking year. But that said, I am actually reading the Darth Plagueis novel. Whenever I do my laundry up here, that's my laundry book that I always read. And my friend Chris Henderson actually let me borrow it.
Yo, shout out to Chris. I ran into him at Drill last month, and
oh, you did?
Yeah, I didn't recognize him at first because it was so fast. He was like, "How's Cesar doing, man? I ain't heard him on the show." And I said, "Yo, who are you? How do you know this?" Because when someone approaches,
who told you?
When someone approaches me at drill in uniform about the podcast and not about work stuff, I'm like, yeah, how do you know? How'd you figure it out? I'm trying to keep that stuff separate. I ain't trying to get kicked out.
right.
But nah, he was singing your praises, so.
Oh man, that's awesome. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, man. So look, man, I will let you go. I do appreciate you getting a little bit of time to talk with us. And hopefully, this kind of answers questions from our fans and anyone asking, from here on out for the next couple of episodes. Man, where's Cesar at? Hopefully, this will give them a new answers and a new sense of appreciation, man. So best of luck up there. And
I appreciate that, man. You didn't have to do that.
Well, actually, by the bylaws, apparently, I do.
Yeah, see, what you don't know is Adam also is working for me.
Oh, shit.
So I'm paying him for his services regarding my security within the show.
That is great.
Any and all likeness rights I have full privy to.
I mean,
look. You're like,
Hey, look, real quick. It's all jokes and it's not beloved, but I saw Robbie at the podcasters meetup that we hosted, right? And
nice.
We almost had a moment. I felt like we both wanted to hug each other and support. Like, I miss him too. Like, that's all I said when I saw him. I was like, I miss him too. He was like, yeah, me too. And I didn't know that all of the Straight Chillin' crew was phoning. I was like, so who?
Nowadays.
I was like, because I was like, man, it's got to be really slim. Cesar's a very dynamic person, so when he's in a room, you feel it. It's really, there's energy there, and you kind of feed off it. I was like,
that's usually because I'm not wearing pants.
That's what I'm talking about. And Robbie's like, well, honestly, man, our whole crew's kind of remote. I was like, damn, work from home, shit. Don't get this out to Ed. So,
I mean, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna come back home and be like, "Yo, Badr, I'm gonna be skyping your ass." You're driving over. You're gonna be like, "You live 2 minutes from my house." Yeah, I could walk to your house now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
/ I've been watching you shower. What?
/ I borrowed / that Brubaker book I got. It was from your collection for $20.
Dude, that's why you got that little list of stuff in your house where you have to make people write their name on it for stuff they borrow. That's the truth of it.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, all right, I'll let you go, man. But it was a pleasure, brother. Take care, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Badr Milligan.
Yo, son, I think from now on, every time I call you, I'm going to just be in that Black Panther voice. Get this man a podcast.
That made me feel good.
Yo, son, what up?
Are we recording?
No, I just happened to stumble. I was calling you, and then I tripped, and then hit the record button, and my headphones fell on my.
This is your attempt at humor. I'm enjoying this.
Thank you.
Very well, very well.
I hear through
Jokes.
the grapevine. Well, someone's got to go and deliver the jokes without you. You were 80% of the good jokes, 10% of the bad ones, and then the rest falls on me, Adam.
I feel like if I just took out your Mind Stone, there wouldn't be much left in the humor department.
No, not at all. Because I've already sacrificed the Soul Stone for a shot at Marvel Comics. Yo, I'd be the worst gatekeeper for the Infinity Stones. I'd be trading the bitch.
You'd be like,
God, dude.
Yo, it's that I just give that shit away. What did you do?
Wait.
I joined the team.
Time out. I'd be the worst member of the Marvel Illuminati. I'd be meeting up with everyone, and then Mr. Fantastic would look at me. What happened to the Power Stone? See, what happened was I was trying to get us into this club, but I wasn't on the guest list, so I traded for it.
So I killed everyone in the club. Power.
Oh, dude, a little birdie has told me
I was going to say, let's focus.
That you dusted off your old crimson red shades and went and watched a Marvel movie.
Dude,
the Marvel movie of the year.
Here it is.
Hit it.
This is the Marvel movie I've been waiting for.
I know it is.
The Marvel movie I've been waiting to see. It's not a matter of like, oh, it's a Marvel movie, I won't watch it. It's a matter of, all right, I did my tour.
Dude.
And I did my tour in freaking where's that freaking terrible place in the Marvel universe?
Liberia?
I did my tour in the Shadow King's asshole. I've been in the astral plane for so long. And now that they've made this movie,
that's good.
When the other one comes out, I'll be like, okay, finally,
you know what?
I'm done. I'm done. I can leave. Some other young buck can take my spot.
I love that joke so much that I think it's why I was one of the few people that was laughing at the end of it, because I couldn't help but think about this joke right here and how I was like, man, Cesar's gonna have to do they just extended his tour, like you were supposed to come back to your family. And the office.
I was like watching that movie, and as soon as the end happened, I was like, what the? I felt like Stan Lee was like, stop loss, motherfucker, you're done. You don't get to go home.
God,
you don't get to go home. No, but I mean, I knew going in that was going to happen.
So
I'm actually cool. I'm glad it happened. So
me too.
We're here clearly to speak about the movie.
Yep. And I mean, you just got done. Like 20 minutes ago, you were in the theaters watching the end credits.
Yes.
So everything is still fresh in your mind. I've seen it twice up to this point. But I want to know, man, what are some thoughts, phrases, general feelings that you have right now, just that you can get?
All right,
off?
Here we go. Just awesome movie, fun movie.
I love hearing this.
Really fun, so much fun, man. I went in there.
Dude.
All right, I'm going to hit you with the bad first.
No, absolutely.
There's not that much of it.
Not at all, but there is. There is. Good.
Okay, number one, Thanos. Come on, man. He's not fucking mopey Thanos. He's a sadistic murderer. They set that up for like I don't know how many movies, right? Mm-hmm. So for him to be like, Gamora, you're the only one I love, and then toss her in. First off, if there was any sort of logic, he would have jumped in himself, would have survived because that's what the Soul Stone wanted. Then he would have had the Soul Stone, could have came back to life, problem solved, because we all know he loves nobody but himself.
Mm-hmm.
Done. And I seem to remember something similar happening in Thanos Quest. Like they didn't bullshit you at all. Like, yeah, no, he's a piece of shit, but he's willing to do whatever it takes to get those stones. Why? Because he's a psychopath. Mm-hmm. 2, his motivations for doing it are closer to why Vision signed the Accords and Civil War. He shouldn't have a logical reason for wanting to end the universe or wipe out half of it. It should just be more human than anything else. It should be frighteningly human why he wants to end life. Right? So it's just kind of like, no, the reason why you want to do it makes too much sense for me to like think you're a terrible person. I'm like, he has evidence for it working too. Like he's like, yeah, I killed half a planet and look, they're thriving. Like better than they ever had before. Turns out they had an overpopulation problem. Fucking Vision was saying that shit like 2 movies ago, and everybody was like, yeah, let's do that. Like what?
Watching it the second time, I did feel a little awkward that he was tearing up having to kill Gamora, because I just finished.
Not real.
I just finished Thanos Quest, and you're right. When it comes to the most conniving, evil motherfucker in the Marvel universe, I'd be hard pressed to find anyone other than Thanos. But what I did enjoy was
his name's Death. It's Greek for death.
What I think they were trying to go for was they saw the success of Killmonger and how they were able to make a relatable villain.
But that makes sense because Killmonger's reasons are very human.
Mm-hmm.
His reasons are very human. He didn't have a logical reason for doing what he did. He had a very human reason for doing what he did, Like, he was a victim, and he let it eat him up.
Mm-hmm.
So is T'Challa, but he didn't it's the same reason why Batman and Joker work so well. Joker is a victim that allows his freaking tragedy to define him.
Mm-hmm.
In the worst way possible. Batman is a victim who allows his tragedy to define him in the best way possible. That's pretty much how that's comics 101. But the thing is, I don't want to get into that because the movie is so good and I want to talk about some of the good stuff, right?
Fair. And I just want to add one last thing. I do like that Thanos wasn't one-dimensional, that he wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting him to be unstoppable. Nothing would harm him both physically and emotionally. I do like he wasn't completely one-dimensional.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't 2-dimensional. That's fine. He was just the wrong dimension. That's my thing.
Fair enough.
I love when they thought they beat him by destroying the gem in Vision's head, and he's just kind of like, bitch, I've got the time stone. Really? Get out of here, you fucking
how messed up was that Vision not only died once by his greatest love, but like, damn,
died twice. I was like, damn, dude.
No love for that android.
So that, and a small minor thing was the fact that, as I predicted, Tony Stark and Doctor Strange don't really work on screen together because you have two a-holes that have the exact same personality type, and it's hard to tell who's who, right? Like, it's like, isn't there already a Tony Stark? Like, same problem in the Doctor Strange movie. They made him too much like Tony. He shouldn't have been.
It was basically watching that Spider-Man meme that you see go around where Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man.
Right. Like, he should have just. I mean, he could be a narcissistic and a douche, but he's supposed to be above all that. And you could tell, like, if he wasn't, like, it was kind of like he should be the weirdo religious fanatic on the team. That's who he should be. He should be the guy holding the Bible studies, and everyone's like, "Oh God, I don't want to go." So but that again, that's minor. That's nitpicking because it was still fun, right?
Okay.
Here's where I freaking actually yelled. And I scared the white guy sitting next to me, but the black guy sitting next to me started nodding. I was like, when Cap shows up in Scotland with the rest of the Avengers to defend Wanda and Vision against those fuckheads.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Wah! Oh, yeah!" Shows up, catches that spear, and then rolls out looking like a fucking cover of GQ. Like, I was like, what the hell? Like, Steve Rogers, even when he's grizzled, he still looks sweet.
Oh, man. Yeah.
The star is gone, you know? Like,
our theater erupted, dude. And did you notice the chainmail underneath underneath that armor? That dude, That dude hasn't swapped out his armor for, like, come on, man. He's still rocking beat up armor from Civil War.
Yes. It was so good. That part, probably the best part of the whole movie for me. That, and when Thanos does the time stone, like back in time, like, oh no, you guys forgot.
Dormammu? Nah, son.
Yeah, like, oh no.
I think our theater erupted at that part, the first appearance of Cap, and then also when Thor comes in and saves everyone's ass in Wakanda.
Dude,
God.
When he whips out, and it's funny that they were like, yeah, we got to give him an axe. I'm like, you mean Yarnbjorn? I'm like, yeah, they're not gonna say that name. That's nah.
Yeah.
It's like we'll just call it Stormbringer.
A little too much. What Rocket said.
But good, really good. I'm trying to think what else. It's kind of a blur right now because it was awesome.
It's a lot of movie to try to process as soon as you see
it. Yeah, I didn't feel like it lulled too much, and I was like waiting for it. I like that Banner and Hulk had the.
That was good too.
They had sort of a debate, like they were like that's the way it should be, you know, like two different people. Like that's pretty cool. Like Hulk didn't want to come out because he was scared and he didn't want to admit it, you know.
Yeah.
That was cool. Man. One more thing that I'm just kind of like, meh. The fucking sting at the end. That stinger was weak as shit. I don't give a fuck, and nor have I ever gave a fuck about Captain Marvel. So many freaking girls back there were like, about Captain Marvel. Okay, if you like Captain Marvel because she's only # a girl, then you're a sexist. I dislike her because her character is fucking whack as shit. She worked better as a plot device to make other characters cool, i.e. Rogue, i.e. anyone else in the Avengers for that weirdo story that Chris Claremont wrote that was super controversial.
Rapey, whatever.
Yeah, like what the hell?
She does not have the best track record at all.
Yeah, otherwise she's got a bad haircut and she's a Superman knockoff. But she's got I don't care, and it's not extending to women or men. I will judge them by the same metric. What is their motivation? How are they cooler? Here's how, and since I don't want to bring up problems without bringing up solutions, here's what I would have done. Which I know that you're not going to do, but would have got my wiener hard, was if Nick Fury would have, called on the fucking Defenders. and i.e. in the Netflix universe, right? Like,
yeah, but we won't ever get that.
Yeah, I know, it's not going to happen.
And what are they going to do?
Right?
What's Jessica Jones drunk ass going to do?
Daredevil disappeared too in the comics. Like, if you look at the pictures in the Infinity Gauntlet comic book, he's one of the names that are gone. Which I loved. I loved that all these fools disappeared. Like, I was like, yes, that's just like the comic. Took a while to get there.
Did you tear up when Pete died?
Oh, dude, Peter Parker, man, God bless it. That was Peter Parker, like going, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I was sitting here like, oh my God. That's why he's the fucking heart, dude. He's the heart.
Tom Holland reprieved himself. I think Spider-Man, period, because I reprieved himself. Because I'm thinking back to when we did our review of Homecoming, and me and you were both on the same page that Homecoming had the name of a Spider-Man movie, but it didn't quite feel like it. They were missing some essential elements.
Because unfortunately, no one wants to admit it, but the good Spider-Man movie was already made.
Yeah.
Now you can nitpick about, I don't like Tobey Maguire, I don't like it, blah blah blah, but the elements and all the heartstrings that needed to be pulled were pulled in that movie. I mean, all the good things were Spider-Man, so all we got was a movie in name only. But in this movie, again, I don't want to talk about the negative. In this movie, Tom Holland was fucking great.
He was awesome, so good.
Was great. We got to see the Spider Sense.
Just a small fan service like that was enough for me to be like, okay,
it shouldn't be fan service. First off, it should be a fucking part of the character. It should have been in Homecoming. Fuck that movie one more time. But again, he outstanding actor. Also, the movie should have been called Avengers. We should have killed Star-Lord because they had Thanos dead to rights.
Oh God, I know.
And that motherfucker he's killed more people than Tony Stark.
Everything's a joke to him, man.
Dude, he shouldn't have fucking they should have killed him. Like, the movie should be called Let's Kill Peter Quill because he fucked everyone.
Yeah.
He fucked everybody. Like, that infuriated me. Like, I was just kind of like, are you kidding me right now? Now is when you're going to really? You haven't mastered? You didn't learn anything from your dad being an asshole? Like, I get it. Whatever. I guess they needed to move the story along. That would be an example of the idiot plot line. Where suddenly a character that, contrary to what he would normally do, does something stupid to move the story along. Mm-hmm. That's whatever. But again, did not ruin the movie for me. Amazing movie. I loved it.
You think you'll catch it again or a third time?
Yeah, no, I'm going to watch it again. I mean, look, I'm in school right now, so it's kind of hard to get away. But I know some of my fellow students wanted to go see it, so if they
you'll be shepherding them.
If they want to see it, I'll definitely be going.
Like a Marvel, like an old crusty Marvel shepherd. Speaking about characters that reprieve themselves in my eyes, Tom Holland, but also Chris Hemsworth, because I've been vocal that I haven't been the biggest Thor fan. I think his movies, to me, I just never really captured my attention. But I gotta give Chris Hemsworth props, man. He delivered it, especially in that scene.
He was more Thor in this movie than he was in the last one. The last one, he was definitely Star-Thored.
That scene with him in
the last one, too jokey, not really the god of thunder, more like the god of blunder. # trademark.
That scene with him and Rocket.
This was good. Like right off the bat, I loved how they didn't play around with the cosmic stuff. Like, they got right into it, and it didn't feel like Guardians of the Galaxy cosmic stuff. Like, it was like it almost was like totally wiped out the freaking joke that Ragnarok was before with reality. Like, this is like everybody on, like, 90% of the Asgardians are dead. Heimdall gets fucking murked. Loki gets murked.
Did not see that coming.
Dude, how about Red Skull showing up out of nowhere? I was like, dude, what the fuck? Where'd this nigga come from? Like, really? Like, are you kidding me? Like, what is his purpose? Like, so the Tesseract ate him up, and somehow he ends up where the Soul Stone resides? Like, why is he there? That makes no sense. It was a cool image, but it makes no sense whatsoever.
He was a prisoner. He was a prisoner of the stone. That
doesn't make sense. He didn't have the Soul Stone, nor was he ever exposed to it.
That's right. The Tesseract is not the Soul Stone.
Yeah, that's freaking Space Gem, brother. So why is he fucking there?
Tesseract's out here trading slaves. The Tesseracts are out here trading, or the Stones are out here trading the slaves. Yo,
Dude,
Soulstone, you
fuck
need
that guy. Do you know what he wanted to do though? Like I wanted fucking Adam Warlock to show up, and I'm sure we'll get it in the next movie.
I'm hoping.
But like in those freaking robes, like, you know, like, oh shit, that voice. I didn't catch it was Hugo Weaving at first, but you know, he had his face hidden, and I was like, if they do Adam Warlock, I'm gonna lose my shit in this theater. I'll probably be the only one.
You know who I really fuck with among everyone? It was Corvus Clay, man. No,
dude.
What's the name? Corvus Clay. Yeah. The damn, I think I'm getting my Black Order cast mixed up. The Mystic one. Corvus Clay. That dude. That dude.
Who
was
called
awesome.
him Squidward? That shit was
Tony.
hilarious.
Of course, Tony.
Yes, that was great. He called him Squidward. I was dying. I was like, yeah, that motherfucker does look like Squidward.
You know, and I'm glad that you brought up that they did everything right as far as they didn't play around with the galactic part. What I enjoy is that they introduced so many different terrains and new worlds. I mean, we got to see Titan, we got to see that Soulstone planet, and then where Thor got the Stormbreaker. I mean, they were introducing all these different planets,
the ginormous forge. Yeah, that was cool. Like, and I thought it would be like, man, a lot of people are going to get lost. But no, man, they didn't. It was good. It was really good.
Ebony Maw. I'm sorry. Ebony Maw was the name of the Mystic one. He was so phenomenal, man.
That dude was a douchebag in the highest order. Oh,
yeah. You know, and like I said, I was reading Thanos Quest, and now I'm on Infinity Gauntlet. And it's nice. Primarily because you had sent me that text about the Infinity Gauntlet. And just rereading it, man, it's like, shit. Like, they definitely did a good job taking source material from Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity. Really well.
Right. Well, that's something else I want to bring up that I really liked was that we got 2 thank yous. One of them was probably more than that, but 2 that I noticed. One thanking Jim Starlin for a shit ton. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, you know, we'd like to thank Jim Starlin for all of his fantastic input or something like that, right? And then another thank you, like a special thank you to like a whole bunch of artists and writers, including Abbott and Lanning. Brubaker was on the list.
Was Ron Lim on there?
Yes, Ron Lim was there. Good. Mark Texiera was there.
Cool. George Perez?
Dude, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. Like a bunch.
I don't know. Like, wow, I don't know why
cool.
I don't know why I assumed Ron Lim did Infinity Gauntlet. Maybe because I just always tied Thanos Quest Infinity Gauntlet, but George Perez, just looking at these pages again, an Infinity Gauntlet. Oh God, man.
Yeah.
George Perez is so spectacular, and Jim Starlin does not get enough like his
Apparently
name.
He does.
Well,
at the end of this movie, a lot. Like singular in name. Like they gave him a line.
You got one page. That's good. Oh man. So if we're looking at post Infinity, how was your theater, by the way, at the end of it? Because the last 2 times I've seen it, my theater was dead silent at the ending.
Yep.
I've heard several people like, "What is that? It
super hushed tones of people like walking out." I think, you know, like nobody wanted to spoil it because there's big spoilers.
Yep.
So yeah, man, like it was super, super quiet. Everybody walked out very respectfully. A couple dummies. It always makes me mad when I watch a Marvel movie and I see assholes get up like while the credits are walking, like to leave, and I'm like, how many fucking more of these movies are they gonna have to make before you understand? There's always a stinger.
Down.
Always.
We've been doing it for 10 years, always. You know.
But like, I think the one movie that didn't have it was Age of Ultron because Joss Whedon was like, "Fuck superheroes." But it's always there. I'm just like, stop, sit the fuck down, We're not done. The movie's not done. The lights haven't even come on yet, asshole. Have a seat. You're blocking my view. Don't think I won't hit you.
So what do you think, C? Do you think 10 years, 18 movies worth of, you know, content from the MCU, was this the crown jewel? Was this everything that, you know, you were hoping for and expecting that? Do you think that all of your patience, viewing, money paid off with this movie?
Oh, absolutely not. No, definitely not. No. I still think there are movies better than this one in the Marvel Universe. This movie was good, But still, in my opinion, man,
What movie?
I don't know.
What movie?
The Russo brothers. It's the Russo brothers, man. Like, it's like, which Russo brother? You're making me choose which Russo brother movie I like more, because the movies that they have done are probably among my top 3. Like, Winter Soldier still holds up, man.
Oh, big
Winter
time.
Soldier's so good. Probably because it's not really that formulaic of the Marvel movies. Like, they already did the origin movie, so they could just give a character a mission without worrying about who they are, how they become who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's established. And they just went off and did it. Like, they tried to do it in Thor 2, but I guess they fumbled it and didn't know what to do. Like that's the one that I think that movie works the best out of all of them, because I think it's the model in which they should use. I mean, they did this movie too, and this movie was awesome for the same reason. Like, they didn't have to be like, oh yeah, this guy got his powers this way, and this guy you already know who they are.
Yep.
And like Avengers, it's like, yeah, but they did that in Avengers, and what do you think? Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, I this is gonna sound terrible. I don't trust Joss Whedon. I don't. It's a good movie, but the Russo brothers did a better job at making an Avengers movie, I think.
I can get behind that.
You
So,
know?
I mean, because my
I'm
top
just-
3, with this entering the top 3, I think it's all the Russo brothers. They did Civil War as well, right?
Yes, Civil War's so good.
Winter Soldier, and now this. Yeah, all Russo.
Yeah.
So I think a few people may not know this, and this might be. I wonder how this attributed to your viewing pleasure. You saw Black Panther, maybe not even a month ago, not even maybe 3 weeks ago. So I mean,
it was very recent.
So you had all the events of Black Panther pretty still fresh, which, I mean, they kind of drew a little bit of that from. But I mean, did that affect your viewing pleasure at all? And not only that, but what took you so long to watch Black Panther?
Well, money, 1.
Fair enough.
2, I was trying to get married and leave for school all around the same time, so going to the movies wasn't a high priority.
Mm-hmm.
But once all that calmed down and I had some time, me and my wife both went to see Black Panther together, and we enjoyed it. So it was just a matter of trying to, get to the movies, because I was excited for it, and it didn't disappoint me. The idea of everything going down, well, some things going down in Wakanda was always exciting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think our joke has always been, it's downtown Marvel.
Yep.
We've always said that. And
they were handing out hood passes like left and right. I was surprised to see that many white people in Wakanda.
You know what, though? It took the end of the world for those hood passes. It's not like
they're
they were
stingy,
handing
dude.
them out
They're
like it was
stingy.
like,
You're right.
all right, motherfucker, you're allowed.
Hey,
But as soon as this shit's done, we want that back.
Hey, KLA hit me up Saturday, or whenever he saw it, which was earlier this, like Friday or something. He was like, damn, we just got Black Panther, and they took him away from us.
I'm telling you right now, like, the white guy sitting next to me was mad about it, and the black dude sitting next to me was like, "Psh, oh, that shit coming."
Oh, man. All they
I
were
was dying. Like, he was like, "No, this is unacceptable. I can't believe that." And the black dude's like, the black dude next to me was like, "You think they're gonna let that fool survive? Shit.
they should have.
Welcome to America, bastard."
Yo, they took 2 brothers from here. They took BP and Sam. They left us fucking broke ass Rhodey.
Yes. Fucking poor Rhodey, man.
I know.
That's another thing I was like, wait a minute. Tony Stark had like a knife through his heart, and he was a borderline alcoholic, and he was still able to wear an Iron Man suit.
He's still good.
When his fucking spine was jacked up in Civil War, Rhodey's, that is, like, and he's learning how to walk. I'm like, what's preventing this dude? Like, I never saw that as a problem.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Tony Stark could make this dude whole again, whatever, no big deal. Yeah, dude, that was so good. When like the scenes happen in Wakanda, both me and the dude sitting next to me were like, "Wakanda forever." And like, I said it. He actually put his hands in the salute, and I'm just kind of like, "Fuck, I wish I would have done that."
Dude, they gave M'Baku like some shine. They gave everyone like a nice, even if it was just like a one-liner. Everyone had a little bit of spotlight on them.
Right.
My
It was
boy
good, man.
M'Baku.
And I like that they did T'Challa where he didn't have the whites over his eyes. Like, straight up, old school Kirby, like he's running the field, like with the eye holes cut out and no whites in them, you know?
Yeah, I don't even think I noticed that. Wow, you are right.
Yeah, that shit was awesome, dope as fuck.
I was sitting. I'm sorry for all of those acts. It felt like it just never stopped pushing the envelope, or just what was going on in every act. I mean, from the fight with Thanos, then it just swapped over to Wakanda. It just seemed like a constant adrenaline rush.
I like it didn't wind down. Like you didn't see the end coming, and not like oh, I saw that. No, I mean like the movie just kept going and then it stopped. It didn't like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, done. Like it was Act 1.
It was fluid, yeah, real fluid.
You know, and then it's like the movie's done. Like, wait, what? Wait. I mean, that shit Lord of the Rings to everybody. You know, like the ultimate Rickroll was when fucking Fellowship of the Ring came out, and there were people who didn't know about the series. You know, like they're like, oh, is that it? I can't believe it. I'm like, how? Okay, whatever. Like when this came out, you didn't really have that punch because, you know, only within like, I mean, I know the nerd subculture has been brought to the forefront and become kind of mainstream, and everybody, you know, thinks they like superheroes, but we know better. We've been in it since the fucking, Jesus, the 80s, you know? So only people like us who have read the comic are like going to be like those same people who had read Lord of the Rings that were like, it's not done. Like, you know, this movie's going to end on a shit note, right? You know that, right? So when it happened, it was still cool to see everybody, but they're not taking it out on the movie, you know? Like the people in Lord of the Rings, they took that shit. Oh my God, they were so, this fucking movie, I can't believe it. Let's just fuck this movie, man. A bunch of fucking gay-ass Frodo and Sam, they almost kissed. And I was just kind of like, whoa, man, calm down. Like, Jesus, it's not done yet. Like this one, nobody said shit. Everybody was like, oh my God. Like they acted, it was great. Like they acted like Marvel had lasting stakes. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
You know, my sister, because I went to go see it with like my whole basically family, so we had the whole theater to ourselves. My sister got so into it. She ended up calling me like first thing in the morning. She was like, Badr, I couldn't sleep. I was just thinking about this movie and how they could do this. I was like, Sam, there's this part 2, I promise. She was like, something Doctor Strange said in that movie. Just, I couldn't let it go, Badr. He said, this is the end game. I think that she let Tony live because that's the scenario. She's like full on Ben Urich conspiracy theorist like mode and everything. I'm enjoying how engaged and riled up normal fans, like non-comic book heads, are about this movie, man.
I mean, that's what this movie was meant to
be. It feels like an event.
Like show
Definitely
everybody a fun time.
Yeah.
You know, that isn't on the inside track, you know, which I love that too. I like that.
Yeah.
I like going to the movies, like movies like this where there's a packed house, you know, and everybody is there because they want to be. And you can tell because they're cheering and, you know, like when they leave, it's quiet, you know, like it's crazy. It's so good. Yeah. What a good movie.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I'm always a fan of hearing your thoughts on these Marvel movies.
Yeah, man. Like it was fun. I enjoyed myself. Money well spent.
Absolutely.
If I get if there's an opportunity for me to see it again, definitely.
Oh,
and would I recommend it? Absolutely. I would highly recommend it. I wouldn't recommend, however, telling people who had never seen this movie that they could just go in cold. Because it's like, no, you kind of have to see all the other ones.
And there's some good. I think I had posted it on our Facebook page. There's some good videos that'll recap everything, but of course, it's nothing like actually kind of watching the key movies for it.
Oh, dude, you can't recap Civil War and all the Russo brother movies, like the emotions.
Yeah.
Just because that scene is so awesome, where Cap comes back, you know, like because you don't expect it, because they had already gone underground, and you know, Vision stood on Tony's side, you know, so you don't know, like the next time you see this fool, he's walking around like fucking It's a Beautiful Mind. Like, what? He's got skin now? Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, they're fucking? Like, well, how does that work? What the fuck? I saw The Shape of Water. I know more about a fishman fucks than I do how the Vision fucks, dude. I was like, what? He's got a little robot dick? How does that work, dude? And then he should be with Tony. So all that stuff, not the robot dick stuff, but all that stuff is kind of set up in, you know, Civil War, so you kind of have to see all that. Like, the little nitty gritty things. I don't know. But again, highly recommend, but also highly recommend. Fucking, you need to watch all the other movies.
Yeah.
All 27 movies.
All right, brother. I appreciate you giving us a call. And
no, dude, yeah, appreciate you picking my brain about it, man. I can't say it enough times. I miss you guys. I'll be back soon enough. Hopefully I can high five you. And, I'm sure what's the next movie to come out, man? And when?
Ant-Man and Wasp. I think that is this summer. I think it's June. Don't quote me, but I know it's Ant-Man and Wasp, and then Captain Marvel, and then we get the second part to this Avengers movie in 2019. So I think summer 2019 we'll get the wrap up.
Crazy. How that's so. Unless all this shit happens like before Infinity War, how are you going to top the fucking world-ending event that we just saw? Hopefully, I know the Captain Marvel movie is going to take place mostly in the 90s.
Yep.
I know Ant-Man and Wasp, like, that shit has to happen either a little bit before or
during.
Or during. And it'll probably end with one of those motherfuckers disappearing.
Me and Drew think that it'll probably either be Wasp or, you only got like three options: Wasp, Ant-Man, or old Ant-Man. But
look, if anybody who's seen Lost, everybody knows it's going to be Evangeline Lilly. She's done. So I'm sorry. The Kate episodes of Lost were fucking terrible as shit. I'm sorry. She's gone. And if they keep her around, then fuck, I don't know what to do.
Well, man, they extended our tour. Our ship was docked right outside the docks. Our families were there with balloons. Your wife had a new kid ready to meet you, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, we need you guys back."
I was chopping logs in a fucking cabin with a beard and a shirt off, and a damn Black Hawk helicopter lands. And they're like, "Cordero, we need you." I'm like, "I don't do that work anymore, General. I'm a fucking Saga from Image Man now." I've been reading nothing but sex criminals and pretending I like it.
It's funny. All right, see, it was a pleasure, brother. I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks again.
All right, my man.
Yeah.
Be good.